What is going on, everybody? And we are live. I am JohnnyKpicks, and alongside me is three amazing MMA guys. We have Cody, my co-host, Blood Money MMA Bets. We have Manny from MMA Fight Club with us, and Brandon from MMA Propaholic with us as well. And we are here to go over all the fights for UFC 284, all of our bets, all of our predictions, all of the shenanigans that happened at weigh-ins today. We're going to get right into that soon. But Cody, what are you looking forward to on this card the most?
Just seeing some actual good fights. Looking forward to these two championship fights. I really want to see. I mean, obviously, I want to Volk and Islam, but I want to see. I think there's a couple fights going to have some really good violence on them. Them are the ones I'm looking forward to.
Okay, Manny, what about you?
Well, I'm a big fan of women's MMA, so I'm disappointed. There's only one women's fight in the card, so I need a little more chaos. Usually the women's fights, they screw things up and the favorites usually lose and shit like that. So from that standpoint, I'm probably in the same boat as Cody. I'm looking forward to this main event and can't wait to see what happens. A Volk win means he's like the best ever.
Has to be, right?
Go. Yeah.
What about you, Propaholic? What do you like about this card?
Look, man, it's a pay-per-view. It's in Australia. I'm hyped for some violence, and next week is atrocious. So let's all just enjoy this week, and let's enjoy every single fight because I'm psyched for this. I'm psyched for this whole entire card.
Yeah, same with me, guys. I think there's going to be a lot of violence on this card. My one fight that I am kind of looking forward to the most, even more so maybe than Islam and Volkanovski, I kind of want to see Randy Brown versus Jack Della Maddalena. I'm really high on Jack. I want to see how he takes this next step up. We'll get to that fight though, but that's like one of my like low key, well, not really even low key, but like secret ones. I'm really looking forward to that one. So, yeah, let's go ahead and jump in the first fight when we got some shenanigans. Why not? It's going to be Zubaira Tukhugov versus I think it's Elves or Elves. Brenner. Manny, I'm going to have you start this one off because I like what you said before we started this.
Oh, first of all, I want to call him Elvis, so I'm going to call him Elvis.
I like it. I don't know if it's Elves or Elves. I don't know.
Makes sense.
His mama named him Elvis. I'm going to call him Elvis. All right. So
mama named him.
I'll tell you one, just really quick dark horse prediction here is Elvis by submission is like plus 700 range. And the kid's got submissions on his background. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing he does do well. As we were talking here before the show started, Tukhugov is a big favorite. He has all the credentials, more fight experience. Obviously, he's getting a late replacement here too in this young fighter who's making his UFC debut. We all know those things. But in my analysis of Tukhugov before we found out about the missed weight cut today, that's most recent news, I was already wondering about his heart. Was he fully into it? There's other red flags. He's had some other issues. He's had also a long layoff. And I got left with my analysis before today's news about the missed weight cut. I was left thinking, this guy's not all in. So, if you have him in a parlay, you shouldn't panic. There's no reason to panic. The line might move a little bit. He should still win the fight. It just probably maybe gets a little greasier than you want. And if you want a dog shot, who knows, man? This kid's coming from, again, a last-minute replacement. Anything's possible. But I'm taking a dog shot, though. I'm going to play that plus 700 submission prop there on this kid from Down Under, on the other side Down Under.
Yep. Yeah. Well, no, if you like Brenner, though, I think submission is the way to go. I don't think he's going to win a decision. I don't think it's going to knock him out. I think submission early is the way to go. Cody, who do you like here?
Yeah, man. Sucks he missed weight. I haven't got to watch any of the weigh-ins or nothing. Sorry, I took a little nap before this. But sucks he missed weight. It's weird he missed 155 when he's been fighting 145 and missing that for years. But I just think what Elvis does is excellent jiu-jitsu. I think he subbed 12 of his 13 wins. Problem is, he even against normal people, it didn't look like his wrestling was all that great to me. And I don't think at all he's going to have the wrestling to out-wrestle Tukhugov, Dagestani wrestler. I think Tuhugov's going to be able to use his wrestling, keep it standing. And then I didn't like what Elvis Brenner had in his hands. I didn't like his boxing. His kicks were pretty decent, but I just didn't like his boxing. And I think Tuhugov's gonna win. He should knock him out. I've seen Tukhugov hits hard, like dropping Lerone Murphy, finishing Kevin Aguilar, who's a tough dude. He's got some finishes, and he's got people that he dropped too, and then didn't get the finish. So I'm going to say he gets the finish in that first round and a half when he goes hard, gets the TKO. So I'm going to take Tukhugov TKO. I got him in a parlay with somebody later just to add a little value. I got him at like minus 550. So
right on. Brandon, who do you like?
Yeah, I like Tukhugov. I mean, round 1 plus 425 by KO. I mean, he's always coming out firing in the first round. Second round, he slows down. Then the third round, he starts to pick it up again. So maybe bet him first round TKO and then bet him third round TKO because I just don't like how he fights in the second round. He always lets the fight come to him. He's never really the aggressor. But round 1, when he comes out firing and he's very fast and he's landing his jab, he's landing his head kicks, I think he's very vicious. And plus 425 to me is just a fat number, especially when you get a guy's money line who's at minus 550. So that's how I would play this fight. I don't have a bet here, and I don't think I'm going to have a bet here, but that's the best line I can give out on this fight.
Right on. Yeah, I'm going to go with all you guys, too. I'm going to go with Tukhugov to win, even though he just missed weight. I just think he's the better fighter overall. Eventually, I did say by decision. I'm going to stick with by decision. He's just really not the greatest finisher, and I know Brenner's taking this fight on short notice. It's his UFC debut, so he might gas out maybe after a round and a half. But I'm just gonna say decision. Why not? I'm gonna be a little out of ordinary, if you want to say so. Under 2.5 might be a good bet too if you want the just to play it safe. That way you can cover both sides. I still think it's close to a pick 'em. So I think that's not a bad play too. If you're just don't want to lay the minus 500, or if you're scared with the weight that he just missed or anything like that. So I'm gonna go with
Tukhugov by decision is plus 100. So if you're right on that,
okay,
and you're betting that spot, you're definitely getting a lot more return than the whatever minus almost 600.
True. What's inside the distance for him?
I don't see it here. I'm just looking at some of my notes.
Okay.
And Brenner by submission, by the way, I know I'm doubling down on this one, but it's now plus 850. I mean, how else will he win the fight?
Right. Yeah. That is the only way.
Round 3 decision on DraftKings though is minus 135. So I would just be safer and pay that price. So that's how I would do it.
I really like the under. I was mad. It was plus 150 when I was doing my breakdown. I couldn't, obviously my casino didn't have it out, and so I couldn't get it. But I really do think because Tukhugov could finish him early, or maybe he slips on a banana peel, dude, and Brenner hits some type of submission. So they both can finish. If I take under, both people better be finishers. So, but by the time I could get to it, it was like plus 105, and
okay,
it's
the under 2.5
dependent. So.
Yeah, the under 2.5 is about plus 100 in a lot of spots.
That's not
and then
bad.
The inside the distance for Tukhugov is plus 110, and the decision for him is plus 120. So
they don't know
it's
what
about the same. So they don't know what's going on.
No, dude.
Man. That's the one I would stay from away personally, unless you have his money line parlayed. But I don't hate the round 1 TKO though. That's the only thing.
Or the Brenner submission. Like Manny said, because
I like
that's his win. That's his
win condition here.
Yeah, short notice too.
I agree.
So
yep. Wolf Tickets MMA. What's up, Manny? Said pretty sure Tukhugov just missed weight. Yep. What did he weigh in? Do you remember?
147 and a half.
157.
157 and a half. Yeah.
Okay, so he missed by
that's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah. Was it close?
He can barely make 145. Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah. Red
CJP
flags.
bets.
Right.
What is up, Carlos? He said, "What's up, guys? Thanks for coming
What's
out,
up,
man.
Carlos?
We just got started here. We'll go to the next one here. It's going to be Blake Bilder versus Shane Young, and we'll have Cody start this one out because I know you loved it last night when we tried to break this sucker down.
Yeah, man. This fight, it's just tough for me to call. I picked Blake Bilder. I would pick him by decision just because Shane Young's durable. I don't think he's ever been submitted. I know he got knocked out by Ludovic Klein, but Blake Bilder is not Ludovic Klein when it comes to a head kick. So Shane Young's tough, durable. It's just when I watched Shane Young, man, I couldn't find out what he was good at. Like he's just like medium everywhere. Okay takedowns, okay takedown defense, decent clinch. His striking's okay. Like nowhere was I like, all right, this dude's he can box, and then maybe he gets taken down. It was just he's just like an okay fighter. I watched like 3 or 4 fights, and I couldn't decide. And then now he's a little bigger. He's got more muscle. He seems a little slower too, like against Omar Morales. But Blake Bilder, he gets dropped in every fight that I watched him fight. I think I've seen him get dropped 3 different fights. I've seen him get taken down and controlled until he could get 3rd round finishes. But he's good on the feet, holds good cardio. But both these dudes are super suspect, man. I'm staying far away from this fight. I'll take Blake Bilder to say maybe he can take the back at some point and get a whole round of control and get something like that. But I couldn't, watching all this stuff, I just think Bilder could have bigger moments in this fight. But I don't think he finishes Shane Young either. So give me Bilder and give me that over.
Okay. Brandon, who you like here?
Yeah, so this is actually the first fight I actually taped for this card, and I got the under 2.5 pretty early at plus 135. I just don't like how Bilder gets knocked down in every single one of his fights. And what I've seen from Shane Young when he's most successful is when he's pressuring and when he's circling the center of the cage and when he's landing his jabs its distance. I really like how he works the body as well. And for Shane Young, like Blake Bilder is a very good grappler. Guy's on a 14-fight win streak. He has multiple submissions in his back pocket. And Shane Young honestly really hasn't seen a submission grappler. Like, we see Volkanovski take him down. Obviously, Volkanovski is just on a different level compared to Shane Young. Morales was able to take Shane Young down, but Morales doesn't have the submission game as Blake Bilder does. And the under 2.5 at plus 135 at opening price just really stuck out to me. I played it for 0.52 units, and I honestly think Shane Young can break him down in the first round. But Bilder's tough, man, and I do like Bilder's grappling. He has a great back take, too, so I just couldn't sit here with an over ticket. Like, I just think this whole fight is going to be chaos, and I think it's one of the best sleeper fights on the prelims, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. So, violence is my play here.
Like it. When in doubt, violence, I think, is the way to go for any fight. Manny, who do you like and why?
Well, you know what? I do like the idea of violence, but with Blake Bilder, my pick here is Blake Bilder by decision. I think he's got the, he's got the ability, he's got that gene to like live out the war. Like he may lose the little battles in between and get knocked down and look ugly at times, but kind of like has a way of out extending people. I like him here by decision. The things that really concern me though about Young, I want to highlight some of my concerns with him. Long layoff, right? Didn't fight at all, 2022, so don't love that. And inconsistent, 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Submission over position. I've watched him chase like heel hooks and stuff and like lose position that he had, like full on position, and then lose that fight also, a fight where it was close and he's like just bad fighter IQ. And then striking ratio, dude gets hit 5 times per minute. So not a lot of things to love about him. He is fighting at home though. He is fighting at home. It is a close fight, but I'm on Bilder to win. I think Bilder by decision. Bob the Builder, that's my pick.
Yeah, I'm with all you guys too, even though this is I think this will be a very close fight, but I really like Bilder's grappling more so than like Young striking and defensive grappling, if you want to say. As everyone said, Bilder's very tough. I like that as well. He does get knocked down, which is a little scary, but Young hasn't fought, like Manny said, Young hasn't fought in a while. And honestly, I mean, maybe they're just putting him on this card because he's from Australia. Like, it's kind of weird because I don't really think he's amazing. Like, why would he be on this card other than him being Australian? And it's in Australia.
It's a warm body.
It's just a weird.
It's a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I don't understand why everyone's saying how Bilder's so tough and the guy gets knocked down in every fight and this is regional scene competition. Like Shane Young has been in the UFC for about what, like 3.5 years now, and this guy can pressure more than anyone that Blake Bilder has ever faced. So I don't know, man. I think Shane Young is just gonna pour the volume on him very early. I think he's
yeah. I mean, this is such a weird fight. I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It's just such a weird fight. It's such a weird fight to me, but like my pick is Bilder. I said by decision. I think he'll get the grappling going. He'll try to get those submissions, but I think Young will just be just good enough to like.
I have a question real quickly. I have a question real quick. So
yeah,
Bilder by decisions plus 350, but Propaholic, tell us why it's not going to decision, because you were talking about this. You were talking first round for Shane Young. What if we get to round 2? How does this fight not go to decision? Just so I have it.
I just don't like how Shane Young pressures. I don't think the takedowns are going to be open for Bilder in round 2, especially if Shane Young's beating him in round 1. Because I mean, to take someone down in round 1 is the most difficult part of taking someone down in any fight is with their takedown defense in round 1. So I just think if Bilder can't get the takedowns in round 1, And if Shane Young is circling the cage and it's round 2, I just see Young inflicting damage. Like, this guy's very accurate with his boxing. He's very good with his kickboxing at range. And I like Bilder striking, but, like, he always throws with power. He's not a technical striker. He's always urgently to get it to the ground, and he's always willing to be off his back. And even if Young is to get him down in the second round, let's say, like, he hasn't faced anyone when Shane Young is in control time, in top mount, like anyone who has the submissions like Bilder. So I just thought, like, when I saw opening odds at plus 135, that it was very alarming. So I did pull half a unit on it. But even now at plus 100 with the under 2.5, I don't hate it. But I mean, I think Bilder's submission/decision is the way I play him. I don't think he KO'd Shane Young. Like, Ludovic Klein's the only person who KO'd Shane Young.
Yeah, if I see a finish, I think it's gonna be Bilder by submission.
Yeah. I could see. I think Young's gonna honestly break him down now.
I mean, maybe Bilder's chin is the time where it just doesn't get doesn't recover.
Yeah,
and he gets hit a lot.
I
like
hope
you said.
not. I'm under.
Let's go to the chat here real quick. J Bone, what's up? How do you guys feel about that Tuk missed weight? Cody, how do you feel about that?
Disappointed, honestly. I mean, like, why can't you be prepared? You're going up a weight class and you're missing by 2.5 pounds. It's like, come on, man.
I don't think it changes his fight. He's missed weight every time he's ever fought.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Right.
I mean,
a slight one.
Yeah, it sucks. I still think he gets the job done though, but you never want to see your fighter that you especially bet on or picked.
Do you think that makes him go for the finish more in this fight, missing weight?
I don't.
No, maybe not. I don't know about the underbettors now. Like, I don't know how to feel about that now.
Listen, if you want to analyze how someone misses weight, that becomes like a endless, bottomless pit, right? Like, why does a guy miss weight? It's so hard to understand because, like, I mean, like, I was doing a whole breakdown of a fighter the other day who had a knee. Oh, Bukauskas, Modestas Bukauskas, who's fighting soon, right? When you sustain nasty lower leg injuries, and I'm just talking from my experience as an athlete, you do recover. You even get close to coming back to full. You get really close, but you overall never get back to 100%. And as you get older, you feel it. You just feel it. How do you do road work? Like, how do you run? How do you do extensive cardio when you have a limb in your lower body that's like becoming arthritic? This is just a normal byproduct of these lower leg injuries, right? So, like,
yeah.
And so is he, like, him not cutting weight accurately? It could be so many things, man. It could be so many things.
It's just not a good look though when you're moving up a weight class and you're like, okay, if he could totally do this, right? And then he just misses weight again. You're like,
he's had over a year, right? He's had a long time, right?
Yeah, something's up. Like, I don't know if it's
especially in this fight, just to me.
Maybe
he should really win this fight. I mean, if he doesn't, he should be ashamed of himself. Even
more so. MPTV, people kind of talk about Young like he's a vet. I say they are on the same level experience wise. If you want to go overall, but I mean, Shane Young has a little more UFC experience, but yeah, I mean, just
fight wise,
yeah.
Shane Young hasn't won a fight in 4 years.
Yeah, and his last win were them really wins. Rolando Dye. Who was the other guy?
Austin Arnett.
Yeah.
And you don't know Austin Arnett, who didn't go for one takedown the whole entire fight. Like, I don't know what the hell the game plan was there.
Brandon, Derek wants to see if we can get a song on that piano for that show ends.
Piano Man.
Sing me a song, I'm a piano man.
Dev, what's up? What's up, motherfuckers? What's up? Mushroom, what is up, my guy?
What up, Mushroom?
Start round 3 for this fight. Okay, I can see that one. Dev said Bilder by sub. Blake is one of my locks of the week for Dev. Dirty Reg, what's up, room? Damn, I'm seeing too much love on Bilder. Scares the crap out of me.
There's love, but it's not like
I mean, I picked him. There's no love.
Yeah,
I just picked
confident love. That's for sure.
Young did have a 10-pack of abs, though. I didn't really watch all the weigh-ins.
No, he's ripped.
Tukhugov still a lock in Dev's eyes. Thank you, Dev.
That's where I seen this next thing, and then he's like, Rodriguez missed. Now bet Ross.
Now Rodriguez missed and looked bad. Let's go Johnny K. And Dev, if nobody knows, Dev thinks that I look like Shannon Ross. I don't know why. Do I look like Shannon Ross, guys?
Hey, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit now that you just said it.
Maybe.
Ross is plus 220. Not bad. I'm so ready for the fights. I got WWE on my TV. There you go. And Toilet Face, brief me on your locks. We will if you stick around. Okay.
You gotta stay tuned in for that one, boys. Yeah, before we get into our next fight, I'm gonna back out here because I don't want to interrupt the next fight flow. I'm gonna jump over, do my thing. I don't want to pull any traffic, so I'm gonna hold off on any promo of what I'm doing.
It's so crazy that you did it because it's a perfect time. Our next guest is in the chat.
Oh my gosh. All right. So guys, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Tell me where to check your stuff out, man. Do all your stuff. You're good, bro. Do all
Are you sure? Okay, listen, I'm gonna jump over real quickly now at 8:30 on my channel over at MMA Fight Club. I'm doing a pre-fight show for PFL Challenger Series number 3, which is going on this evening. And then I'll have a watch party going on at 9 o'clock. If you know anything about my live stuff, I bring live guests in. So Damon Jackson from the UFC will be coming through tonight to come and talk with me for a little bit. Smiling Sam Alvey. I just love that crazy character. He'll be coming through. But I'll be doing some stuff over there. But stay here, guys. Hang in there. I'll be going for a long time. I'll be on to like 10:30 tonight. So you guys might be done and I'll still be going. Yeah. And but thanks, guys, for having me. I appreciate it.
Manny, tell me where to find all your stuff at. Tell me all your stuff.
I appreciate it, man. So follow me on the YouTube of obviously MMA Fight Club. If you go over and check out my channel, you can kind of find everything from there: Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9. Podcast worthy. Lots of interviews, done some good interviews recently. There's an interview with me actually speaking Portuguese with Jessica Maia, which is hilarious because I don't speak Portuguese, but I actually pulled this shit off in a full interview.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. And just some other fighters as well. I try to get as many fighters to come through as possible. And then the biggest plug for me is Sunday night for the Late Owls, late night, 12 o'clock midnight on Eastern time. From 12 o'clock midnight to like 2 o'clock in the morning, I do a live broadcast YouTube. It's live and it's all about the week that was in mixed martial arts, looking forward to the week that was ahead, and also just recapping everything, recapping our bets. And then we also have live guests on that show too. So
awesome ones too.
Right on, Manny.
Great shows, dude.
Thank you. I'm exhausted. Cody, you're the man. JK, you're the man.
Love it. Take care, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
All right, later, bro.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
But all right, I'm going to give him one more plug again. Definitely go check out MMA Fight Club on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. He does amazing work,
really
great interviews. Check him out. Definitely. If you don't want to stick around with us, go over to his channel and check it out. It's fine. I'll allow it this time once. But we have a new person. I'm just going to jump him right in. Gail. There he is. Gail from Punch List MMA. What is up, my guy? How's it going?
First of all, you got to let me know. I mean, not that I'm I'm not Ryan Reynolds. Right dude, that guy was really handsome, and you put me right in where he's at. That dude came looking
style, some swag,
all exotic and stuff with the tracksuit, everything looking clean. Nice hair. Bro, seriously, man. Golly.
He got a good voice. He's got the best voice too.
He does.
He's like, I just did an interview in Portuguese, bro. Save some of
the us, man. How do you top that, Dale? Do you have an interview? Can you do an interview in Russian for us?
No, I don't. I can't do an interview in Russian, but I can read you some of the DMs the Russians sent me after the last Islam fight where they threatened to kill me. So
that's on part for the course. I get some more after this one.
Yeah,
that's right.
I am going to crack a beer. Is that okay? Or are we on?
100%. If you don't, actually, I need to get you out. If you don't crack a beer, so
can I show you something real quick?
Of course.
So a buddy of mine owns a brewery here by my house, right? And he hooks me up with free beer all the time. But they did a limited edition one, and they called it the Beaver Canoe. It's a lager. I want you to see this can.
What? It's got the old beaver on it. Dude, that is hilarious.
It's a 6%. It's just a lager.
That looks like a tall boy, though. That's nice.
Of course, man.
Dude, that's a bad.
You gotta get tall boys or nothing. I got a tall boy of my triple hops brewed.
So
9.5 blue points, East Coast, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
Midwest beer, 4.2. Let's rock it.
Okay.
Johnny drinking.
Got one. All right, Dale, we just did the first 2 fights while you weren't here. So if you just want to jump in real quick and see if you liked the first 2 fights, and then we'll move on.
Who? Just give me the names.
Okay, Tukhugov,
Tukhugov,
and Brenner.
And okay, so here's the thing. People are on Tukhugov, right? And I see a lot of people discounting the skills of Brenner, thinking that's going to lead to a Tukhugov inside the distance play. I just want to caution you against that, because while it is possible, Tukhugov tends to fight down to the level of his competition. So he doesn't elevate it to a point where he supersedes what's across the cage from him. He just fights at their level. So that's why you see him show good performances against high-level competition, and that can lead you to believe that he's better than he actually is. He just rises to the occasion. He doesn't supersede it. Conversely, he will play down to competition as well. So unless Brenner does something to really get himself out of there, Tukhugov by decision seems very likely to me.
Right on. And then the next one we did was Bilder versus Young. Shane Young.
So I don't think Shane Young's a UFC level talent. I know he's coming off a long layoff, and admittedly, I don't know much about Bilder other than what I've heard other people say. So basing that knowledge off of what I know about Shane Young, a play on Bilder is more a play against Shane than it is for Bilder. So I'm personally staying away from that fight.
Right on. Mushroom MMA say, "What's up, Dale? Look at you,
Mushroom.
Got a little crowd going here too.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna say, Booyah, UFC. What's up, man? And
what's up, Booyah?
Zach, our guy.
What is up, Zach? A Philly guy too, with Philly Mushroom, man. I guess they're having a big weekend. They got 284 and the Super Bowl.
Oh, Mushroom's ready, man. His Twitter posts are inspirational.
Yeah, dude. He's
there we go. What's up, Zach? EAGLES Eagles. There we go. I totally did that wrong, I'm sure. It is.
I'm rooting for the Eagles, man.
So am I. I think the Eagles are going to smoke them. If I'm going to be quite honest with you,
I got Casey. You don't go against Patrick Mahomes. I don't care if he's hurt or not.
We'll see, man.
Anyways,
pick him.
Let's jump into this fight that everyone wants to see. Loma, Lookboonmee versus Elise Reed. Dale, I want to have you start this one off again.
Sweet. I love it. So anybody familiar with me and my channel, I refer to it as women's science. And the science is that there's only about 5 women on the planet Earth that deserve to be greater than a -250 favorite. Women's MMA, the skill disparity is so large. You're either great or you suck, to be honest. And I'm just not going to pull any punches on it. They suck. So if you can do one thing really well, like an armbar, you're considered the GOAT, which is ridiculous to me. Anyway, with women, I don't care how many paths of victory Loma has. Elise Reed, she trains at least semi-professionally to fight professionally. So it's going to cancel each other out to an extent. I'm not going to say that Loma shouldn't win this fight or she won't win this fight. But if you think that she should be going in there and you're willing to lay the juice -250 or greater on that, I can't really help you on that, because that's just really dangerous degen action, right? You can try to sweeten and getting plus money by finishes, but are you really going to go on a 115-pound woman to try to finish another 115-pound woman that's semi-professionally trained to fight? I'm not really going with that. You could go with a semi. Yes, I mean, truthfully, she probably sells insurance Monday through Thursday.
Right.
I mean, you can make a play on it based on neither one of them having very high fight IQ. They might get themselves in a disadvantageous position, but I really wouldn't want to touch it. If you're into violence, you have bloodlust, go for an inside the distance play. But other than that, it's worth a sprinkle on the dog at Elise Reed, just based on the fact that she's not good and Lookboonmee's not particularly great either. I mean, they're really not that good. So you've got 2 marginally skilled club level fighters that are in the UFC based because women just aren't that good, and they're going to go out there and they're going to play high stakes punch face with one another. I mean, why not play a dog? I don't know. That's my opinion.
I feel you. But I'm going to break my rule. I usually don't bet women's MMA money line, but I really, really, really like Lookboonmee to win this fight.
Such a fucking degen play. Such a degen play.
Oh, we're all degenerates then, Dale. We all play her.
Listen, maybe it's just because I haven't bet women's MMA in a very long time, but I'm not a big fan of Elise Reed, I'll be honest. And I just think Lookboonmee's Muay Thai is really good. I think she's got a good clinch game. She's got good grappling, I think. And then we've seen Reed get controlled on the mat. I know against better grapplers, but I still think it gets it done. I think a third round, like ground and pound, elbows to the face, finish. I know Dale's loving what I'm saying, but
Dale every second of it, man.
I hope it hits for you. Don't get me wrong. I hope it hits for you. I don't root against people to not hit their plays, even if they're directly against me. I just personally think that these women are so bad. I can't understand the idea of laying that level of juice on anything.
Dale, you're a normal human being. We're all degenerates. So congratulations to you, all right?
We got two.
I came on here to prove my superiority. I don't know if you know that or not.
There we go. You guys love it.
Felt it yet? So you
Cody, go ahead. You're up. Yep, I'm going Loma. I like this, or Loma.
Yeah, man. I actually stayed away from it too. But like, if they just stay striking for 3 rounds, right? It's going to be a tough fight. Like it's going to be close because Elise Reed's striking isn't bad at all, and it's a different style where she moves around a lot. But where the difference is that makes me pick Lookboonmee is definitely her grappling, like her clinch. You know, she got the tie clinch. She'll be able to hopefully land some takedowns out of that. That's where what's her name? Sam Hughes was able to get the clinch, get her takedowns on Elise Reed. Eventually get the finish. I don't know if Lookboonmee will finish her, but I do think that if Sam Hughes is able to take her down, Lookboonmee should be able to too. So I think that Lookboonmee by decision seems like an easy pick, but I stayed away from it too, just because I don't know. I do think Lookboonmee's better everywhere. I even think her striking's better, but it's like Dale says with kind of sloppy girls, it probably will play out close. So, but give me Lookboonmee. I'll take her by decision.
All right. Brandon, what do you got?
I got Lookboonmee. I mean, it's not shocking. I mean, Elise Reed, like, her 2 wins in the UFC. Like, she beat Corey McKenna at range. How hard is it to beat Corey McKenna at range who didn't implement any of her game plan? And
it was the worst fight she's ever fought.
Loma's an experienced Muay Thai fighter for years fighting in the regional scenes, and she's coming straight out of Thailand. Like, she excels in the clinch positions. She excels with her elbows in mount. Elise Reed can't get up from a takedown. Sam Hughes, who just started her MMA career like a little while ago, was able to control her and just decimate her for 3 rounds. Elise Reed with her hands on her knees, her hands down, like just lynching forward. I don't like the look of Elise Reed at all. And I hope I'm so right, because I'm going to make an ass clown out of myself if Loma loses this fight. But I have someone else on the card. But like Elise Reed, man, like Melissa Martinez took her down. Melissa Martinez is a boxer. Like Melissa Martinez got her down, controlled her for 2 minutes at the end of the 2nd round. Like, I just don't see how Elise Reed wins this fight. If you guys take Elise Reed, I don't hate it. It's women's MMA. I haven't laid chalk on women's MMA, guys. And the last time I laid chalk, I didn't start tracking my bets. It was when I first started betting UFC. But I had Makhachev parlayed with Corey McKenna against Elise Reed, and I was sickened with myself for even taking that bet. But
now I know why you like.
Now, if Elise Reed wins this fight, I mean, I have to do something on my Twitter. I have to eat a hottest chip. I have to do some stupid. I have to do something.
Dude, matter of fact, Dale got on me. I bet fucking what's her nuts? Fucking Yin Yang Kim or whatever. Ji Young Kim. And it got canceled. Bro, that's the first female fight I've bet in probably 4 months. And for some reason, but dude, it was because Mandy bombed so terrible, but it was still gonna play out close, like you're saying. It was gonna be so it is kind of, that's why I stayed away from this. This week, I'm like, maybe I lucked out last week with that fight getting canceled. So I'm like, because Loma looked like the standout pick on this card. When you look at it, you're like, all right, because the Muay Thai should be better than the Taekwondo. And then she's got the grappling. But like Dale said, with girls, man, maybe she can't land the takedowns. And then it's a striking match. And then it's 50-50 all day.
Like, if Elise Reed wins this fight, does anybody know how she wins this fight? Like, she knocked out Melissa Martinez in the first minute,
and moving.
but it was with a right hand.
right? She's a little bigger. She could stick and move. She could land some shots, but I really don't. But like Dale said, man, it's probably
you know how she wins this
close.
fight? She wins this fight, and it looks like a low-level Ketlin Vieira versus Holly Holm.
Oh, well,
she closes the distance. She pushes Loma, and she's just physically stronger. Now, I understand the clinch plays into Lookboonmee's skill set because of the Muay Thai, but hear me out here. You're talking about her beating Corey McKenna and how bad Corey McKenna's game plan. When on paper, Corey McKenna should have dog walked her. But the reason why she didn't is because women's MMA is so low level and they don't understand how to stick to a game plan. That's why there's no women generals in an army, because they can't stick to the game plan. They get rattled.
I'm here. Just throw oranges at me. I'm ready.
I'm ready. I mean, there's like and I think what Dale's saying basically too is there's way better people to find at that price at minus 250 that are just going to dog walk their crappy opponent or something. But because
what if I feel like that's going to happen?
I get it. I think so too. Like I was this close.
I feel like it's going to happen.
Yeah, she should.
I think Loma can win 30-27 or a third round finish. Like
Johnny, let's just hope she does. Because if she doesn't,
I think
every single person on MMA Twitter is going to be outrageous, and it's the third fight of the night, and I'm going to be outrageous.
I love your intensity, Brandon. I love it.
Love
the beers are coming in. I love it.
Love
Dev said McKenna was robbed. I don't think she was robbed. It was awful. She should have won, but she didn't. Reed wins by keeping range and pointing her up. Boy, underdogs win all the time. Yeah, she needs to stay at range for sure to win this fight, I think. The majority.
Yeah.
This has got to be a wind-up fight for her. And Loma via KO. Let's move on. Okay.
I like it. All right.
There we go. Next fight, we're going to do Jack Jenkins versus Don Shainis. We'll go with Cody. Start this one off, please.
You want to start this one off? Yeah, man. I watched tape on both these guys, and to be honest, I mean, Jack Jenkins looked like maybe his striking is a little better, maybe with volume, but everywhere else, I think these guys are pretty even. Like, I think Shainis is going to throw more power on the feet, and he doesn't have terrible striking. And then what I couldn't figure out was who was going to have better wrestling in this fight, to be honest, because Jack Jenkins has decent wrestling, but he's fighting such low-level guys, man, that, like, as long as you're a decent wrestler, you're going to beat them guys. Even the dude on the contender series, he was from like Argentina, maybe not even Argentina, something like that. Somewhere where there ain't good wrestling though. But I watched all his fights, and like I said, he fought lower level guys and he looked good, but they were so low level that you don't really know what you're getting. Because Don Shainis does the same thing to the lower level guys he fights. He knocks them out in the first round. He's got 10 finishes, 8 KOs, 2 subs. I just don't think for Jack Jenkins to be minus 330 to minus 350 that he's that much better than Shainis anywhere. It's weird, like, because Shainis is not that bad. I know if you go watch recency stuff, you see Jack Jenkins dominate his dude on the contender series, who was no good, and then you see Shainis come out and get subbed by Sadiq Youssef on short 5 days notice in 30 seconds. And you're like, well, Shainis sucks. That's the first time he's ever even really been finished. He got finished, I think, one of his first or second fights, but it was a doctor stoppage. So this dude's a tough dude, and I think that this is going to go all 3 rounds, and I'm actually going to pick Shainis. Another thing, if you look on Shainis's record, he's got to win, and it's a 3-round tough fight where he won all 3 rounds over Chris Lencioni, and that dude just beat Cody Law in Bellator. And Cody Law is a good fighter, man. He's an ATT, and he's a good wrestler, and he's a good fighter. And that dude just beat him in a split decision. So it shows that, and that Lencioni dude's good, and he actually beat him standing up and on the ground. Like, he was taken down twice, and he was able to hit nice ass sweeps on him and reverse him. So I just think that this fight's going to play out way closer in that line. I don't think Jack Jenkins ever done anything to like deserve to be that big of a favorite over Don Shainis, other than the fact Don Shainis got choked out real quick by Sadiq Youssef, which Sadiq Youssef would probably put them hands on Jack Jenkins too and stuff. So I'm going to take Don Shainis at this price as a big underdog, because it's going to go 3 rounds. Jack Jenkins ain't a one-shot knock you out guy, and I don't think he just takes Don Shainis down and submits him. So it's going to be a 3-round back and forth fight where both dudes are good and well-rounded everywhere, and I'm going to take the dog in Don Shainis, man. Maybe lands a knockdown or 2, because he's got power in his hands, man. He lands not a lot of knockdowns and knockouts in where he's been fighting. So
true. Brandon, what do you like?
Yeah, like, I don't have a bet on this fight, but like, Jack Jenkins, minus 330, like, man, it's sketchy because Don Shainis comes out in round ones. He comes out throwing with everything he's got, and the guy has takedown upright. He got choked out, exactly what Cody said, by Youssef in 30 seconds, but, like, this guy Shainis isn't a bum.
No,
like,
he's really not.
He's not a bum at all. Like, plus 260 on the guy is value, and his first round knockout, I think the guy has, like, 10 wins by knockout. I gave it out on Prop Talk with Couch Warrior yesterday, but, like, round 1 TKO plus 1,600, and the guy's going to come out in round 1. I'll tell you guys that right now. Like, Jack Jenkins has a very technical game. He's a slow starter. He comes alive in round 2 and round 3. Very good with his leg kicks, but, like, the competition, man, like, when you watch his fights on tape, none of these guys are checking leg kicks. Don Shainis checks these leg kicks. He has counter punches. He kind of has a high guard, and I understand he's knocked out Jay Ellis, but the guy's not a bum. Both of these guys are regional scene competition. Jack Jenkins is minus 330. Shainis is plus 260. So I don't hate a shot on Shainis, but I would not lay Jack Jenkins minus 330 in this spot at all. If you have him parlayed, he should win, but minus 300 is scary because the guy can lose the first round easily and maybe even get knocked out in the first round.
I agree. Dale, do you think Jenkins is a better value pick or bet than Loma?
That's good.
There we go.
No. So there's so we have conflicting information regarding this, right? So we have to take one of the best things about MMA betting is the intangibles that don't apply to other sports. And one of those is you're engaged in a fist fight with all your friends and family around you. And that's what's going on with Jack Jenkins here. Like, you have to understand Jack Jenkins fighting for Eternal and then getting the call up, which is something he's been calling for years, getting to go over, compete on the Contender Series, and then his first real event is back home again. So this is like a dream realized very quickly for him, right? The biggest stage on the biggest card possible for him, he's now back for it. He's got his hands full with Don Shainis. Make no mistake about that. For every reason that Cody and Brandon have said, this is a very tough fight for him. And I agree with the idea of the value, if you're into the value play, is on Shainis more so than it is Jack. And there is a little bit of the hometown cooking in the line with Jack. So you have to take that into account. Right. But if you look at who Don beat 3 fights ago, he beat a guy that was 16 and 107, right? You beat a dude with 107 losses. We're not talking about this. And neither one of these guys are winning awards with high-level competition. Right. So I'm inclined to lean towards Jack Jenkins, right? If only for alliteration. I love the JJ, sound. That being said, you have the Contender Series fade that you also have to somehow compete with, which seems to be damn near scientific fact at this point. You got to fade these Contender Series folks. I don't think anybody is out there saying, ride or die on Contender Series. Yeah. Jamal Hill would probably make an argument otherwise. That said, I think Jack gets it done here. I think it's greasy. I don't think he escapes this without adversity. I think Shainis, to Brandon's point, is very dangerous round 1. Jack's got to get the timing right and not blow his wad in the first 5 minutes being hyped up by his friends and family being 10 feet away from him. If he can do that, if he can settle down, if he can somehow muster that Aussie composure and just push through, rounds 2 and 3 are his. I think he grinds his way to a reasonable 29-28 or a greasy split, but I think he gets it done. You're going to sweat every bit of that minus 350 though. But yeah. I really don't see a play for inside the distance here. If you're going to play any prop, I like Brandon's play of Shainis round 1 plus 1,600. That's a great spot.
That's the way to go.
Outside of that, Jenkins by decision might be the only other thing you want to play. I really don't know what else he's going to do. I can't sit here and go Shainis is going to tap or get knocked out quickly because the Sadiq Youssef result, Sadiq's one of the best in the world. So how much weight do you want to put into that, right? You've got essentially a clean slate between these two guys. You could do the dog or pass thing. You could go round 1 knockout Shainis. You could do Jack by decision. Personally, my slip, what I've got the 2 Jacks parlayed together. I got JDM and Jack Jenkins parlayed. it's like minus 180, minus 175, something like that. Just taking that for 2 units just to go ahead and let it ride. Other than that, I have no action on this.
Jack attack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with all you guys. Go ahead.
There's one prop in this fight that kind of sticks out, and like the way I would play Jenkins if you want to cut his minus 350 tag. Like, I think Jenkins honestly loses the first round. Jenkins round 2 is plus 450. Bet Rivers has round 3 plus 950. I don't know how Don Shainis is going to be in this fight. 18-hour flight. Like, I just don't know. Like, plus 950 on Jenkins round 3. The guy finishes late. He doesn't have a round 1 finish. Like, I just think these 2 late round props on him are good. So that's how I play him here.
I like that one.
Fucking Cody hitting a Genghis Khan dong over there, bro.
Every once in a while he does.
Was that the key for like the best bet of the night?
It's my damn microphone thing.
You know what? We're gonna need to implement that in our show, Cody. Whenever our best bet dong.
I'm trying to stop it.
Real quick though, you guys said pretty much everything I was gonna say. I'm not gonna repeat. I got Jenkins here. I don't like the line. I think he's gonna grind this out to a decision win. Shainis is live in that first round for a knockout. Like, that's how I looked at it when I taped it. I don't want to touch the money line or anything in this fight, but I think it's gonna be closer than the line says for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dirty Reg said, "Sounds good to me. I hope you're right, Dale." He's going with you, Dale.
Okay.
I appreciate that, man.
An eye for that matter.
I think the Loma, anybody with the Loma Jack Jenkins parlay is going to have the bet sweats all day, puckering.
At least
That's
early.
a tough parlay, right?
You might need to change your shirt.
Oh,
after
yeah,
those
it's like the first.
My underpants if Loma loses. I mean,
yeah, dude, it's like the first 4 fights of the night. Dude.
Yeah, you have to change your shirt and get a new one after whatever happens.
MMA Propaholics going to have to change his freaking Twitter handle. sounds like
Loma loses. I mean, how does
everything's riding on a 115-pound woman fighter.
I feel you. All right, guys. Let's move on to the next one here.
Let's
do
love this game, though, bro. That's why we love this game.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do Jamie Mullarkey versus Francisco Prado. Brandon, I want you to start this one off and tell me why this fight's going to go under 2.5, please.
Okay, so we're all on the under 2.5. It's not obvious. It's obvious I have this bet. I got it early, minus 130. The line has moved now, but Prado 11-11 wins, coming within under 2.5. Mullarkey's an absolute killer in round 2. Prado comes out round 1. I don't see how this fight honestly gets over 2.5. If it does, it's going to screw over the whole entire MMA community because I think we're all on the under 2.5. But man, when you see Prado, this guy is not a bum. I know he's not knocking out the highest level competition, but when he knocks these guys out, they're not getting up and they're unconscious for about 5 minutes. Mullarkey, pure pressure, got knocked down by Michael Johnson, who Michael Johnson's kind of late in his career now. I know he's a very technical boxer, but the guy does have power in his hands. But man, this under 2.5, I just think I don't see how it misses. I think Mullarkey, even a very insane prop right now is Mullarkey by submission. I think it's plus 950. Prado gets taken down very easily. The guy gives up his back to get back up, and these guys aren't high levels. So, man, I mean, violence screams out. We're all under violence here. It scares me a little bit, but man, I don't see how does it go to decision? If anyone has a decision prop, I want to know how it goes to decision.
I agree. I want to know too. Dale, what do you like?
I'm going to lead off this by saying Mullarkey's got the best eyebrows in MMA, and fade him at your own peril with a guy with eyebrows like that. The man looks serious no matter what, right? Yeah. I mean, it just again,
even smiling.
Oh, even smiling, he looks serious. And I agree. I agree with Brandon's assessment in the fact that I think everybody as a whole is rocking under 2.5. I think that seems to be it. And I think it's more just a play for the fact that both these men are not afraid of a firefight, right? Yes. They're not afraid to get in there and just swing. Now, that being said, where does this end up? When does this end up going? I'm glad that you brought up Michael Johnson, because anytime his name gets brought up, it is a de facto, I don't know, it's a rule of law, nature, if you will, that you have to mention that Michael Johnson has arguably the toughest strength of schedule of anybody in the lightweight division, maybe in history. Maybe in history, Michael Johnson has the toughest strength of schedule. It's unbelievable. The only person that he can remotely come close is Dustin Poirier, who Michael Johnson knocked unconscious. But I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyway, that being said, Jamie Mullarkey should win this fight, but Mullarkey has this sort of Mexican boxer style approach where when he gets hit and he just bites down on the mouthpiece and says, "You know what? I'm going to hit you back," and he will sacrifice 2 for 1 to do that. You can't do that against Prado. That's not a good idea because he will send you to the ether with the quickness. He'll Thanos snap you out of the arena and you'll wake up in the back wondering what happened. I think he's got about 7 minutes to do that. If he can't get it done in 7 minutes, Jamie Mullarkey pours it on late and he gets him out of there. We might sweat the under 2.5. If we're sweating the under 2.5, it's coming from Mullarkey finishing him at the buzzer. If it's an easy breezy night, it's because Prado snuffs him with the quickness. But under 2.5, Brandon nailed it. I mean, that's my play. Under 2.5. We're getting a good line at it with good probability. I like it.
Right on. Cody.
Yeah, man. I bet the under 2.5 like everybody else. And it's not like just like everybody in the MMA community, you should be on it. That's a smart play. If you look at all the stuff, if you look at all the way they fight, their records, everything, man, it just tells you got to play. It's logic. That logic will get you a long way in this MMA betting game, dude, for real. But Jamie Mullarkey, the reason why I really like him to win and to survive Prado, and I'd like him to probably get a ground and pound. That's hilarious. Probably get a ground and pound finish, like in that late second round, or even if they just stay standing, man. The big thing is he's been fighting dynamic strikers like this his last 4 fights in a row. He's Michael Johnson, Kama Worthy, Devontae Smith, Jalen Turner. So he's been fighting Brad Riddell even. I mean, you can keep going back. Faraz Sahab or what's his name? Ziam or whatever. Faraz Ziam.
Ziam, yeah.
But so he's been fighting really good strikers. So I feel like he's going to be ready for what Prado has. Prado does have good striking. It's not the craziest technical striking because he's only 20, but it is good. And he's throwing power with both hands. He throws good kicks. He's freaking aggressive. And that's where it's either going to be Prado early. He's going to catch Mullarkey in an exchange, or it could be Mullarkey early too. I expect him to win later too, but dude, Mullarkey throws heat. Kama Worthy put him out in like 40 seconds cold. He throws heat and he's not afraid to exchange. So when I bet the under like that, I want both people to be finishers. That's why the Tukhugov, I mean, I know the other dude's a submission finisher, Brenner, but I don't see him getting it to the ground at all. So it's tough. But he's still a submission guy. But these dudes are both finishers. Jamie Mullarkey's finished 13 out of 15 wins, all under 2.5 rounds. And Prado's finished all his wins. And then Mullarkey's been finished 3 times. So out of their 26, 32 fights, only 30 of them has been finishes. 30 out of their 32 combined fights. So give me the under 2.5, but I think Mullarkey's got what it takes to dodge Prado's. I think he's seen striking as good as Prado's, and I think he can survive that and either maybe even get a takedown in the second and start getting a ton of ground and pound, because Prado's on short notice too, and he's coming out 20 years old, UFC debut, all that, man. He's going to have some nerves and he's going to come out hard. But I think Mullarkey, man, it's like what he did with Devontae Smith when in the clinch with them knees to the body in the second round. He broke Devontae Smith, and Devontae Smith's a pretty good fighter, man. He broke him, had him up against the cage, just kneeing him to the body till he dropped. So give me Mullarkey, second round finish, and I bet that it could go under. It could go in the first round too. Like I said, either one could knock each other out in the first round. But give me that under 2.5. Seems super safe. The 1.5, under 1.5 could hit too, but I like to have that extra round, just get a little less of the bet sweats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy as you say, Cody, Mullarkey round 2 is plus 600.
Is it really?
Yeah, which to me is a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
it's really not bad.
Honestly, survive the storm in the first round and just as you said, swarm him in the second. So as confident as you're as in the second round finish,
I really think
not on that 6-1 right there.
Yeah, that's a really, really good line.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Because Mullarkey's phenomenal cardio. Probably not even will have the grappling. If Mullarkey just wants to come out in the first minute and take this dude down and beat him up on the ground, he probably could. I've seen this dude get taken down by low level dudes down there in Argentina or wherever he's fighting. I've seen him get taken down in a couple fights. I mean, he gets up, he's fighting. I mean, but it sucks that this kid has to come into the UFC and fight someone this tough, this experienced. Like I said, you're fighting a dude. Like there's a lot of other guys he could probably come in and take off on and get this early win. But when you're fighting a dude like Mullarkey, like I said, whose last 4 fights are literally against explosive strikers. So that's a tough ask. Now, if this kid could have got like some wrestler that doesn't have the best striking, he could catch him something. But I like Mullarkey, man. And that under, dude, that under is my play of the card. I'll say that. That's my play of the card.
I'm confident in that as well.
Yeah, when I was doing my tape study, the first thing initially, my first bet right away after was the -2.5 in this fight. Because I believe if you do the percentages, it's like 87% finish rate. These guys are finishers. They get it done early, under 2.5 for sure. So I can kind of see one of those fights where it's like Choi versus Trezano. Like both these guys come out swinging right away. Mullarkey is at home. It's Australia. And Prado knows he's got 1 round of cardio, maybe a round and a half. You got to get it done in that. So I think this is going to be a slugfest, and I think Mullarkey will be the one at the very end. It's going to be fun, but I think he's going to do it. It might even take the early second round, but first round will be fun, I think. But give me Mullarkey second round knockout.
Before you hop into the next one,
yeah.
I'm going to say it a couple times tonight. This is going to be the first time that I say it, but I'm prefacing with this. You'll hear me repeat this. A lot of these guys are traveling a very, very far distance. I mean, you have to take in, again, the intangibles of MMA betting. Take this into account, if nothing else that you hear me say. Some of these guys are traveling total air time, 15, 20, 30 hours to get there. If you've never traveled internationally, it's not a 1 or 2 day jet lag thing. It can take up to a week. And then if you're somebody that's coming from a foreign country to a place that, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, predominantly Caucasian white country, where the food sort of sits in the same level, right? You're not going to come in there and immediately get the same sort of food, drink, sustenance, and everything that you're used to. So like Brazilians, when they went to Abu Dhabi, remember when Fight Island opened up? All the Brazilians lost. They flew 20 hours, got there, and the food's not the same. The water's not the same. Nothing's the same. Everybody had a hard time making weight, and they all got smoked. If you saw Prado on the scale a couple hours ago, he's got that weird dry sweat going on. Hair's all flopped over. He looks all fucked up. He's sunken in. He barely made, was worried he was going to make weight, right? And I'm going to talk about this later on with Alonzo Menifield. You get that big, mean machine. In this instance, it's like with Prado, it's like a John Lineker style machine. You get that heavy muscle-bound, lactic acid-filled machine over there. You got to find food and water that works for you and works for you well. You got to replenish that thing and get it back up to fighting order. And if he didn't get there early enough, if he hasn't been there long enough, his body is not going to make those adjustments. And you got to remember, doesn't matter if he's been there for a couple of days and he realizes it's 4 p.m. over there. His body is telling him this is 2 a.m. home time, buddy. We're at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're not eating well. So there's going to be issues here. So you have to take that into consideration with these guys that are living and training on that island. They've been there. They're not adjusting to that. So it's worth a little bit more. It takes a little bit more to it. So anyway.
Yep, that's true. I mean,
yeah.
It's true.
B. Annan said the food is better in Australia than America. Probably.
The Vegemite. The Vegemite.
I wish I could try Australian food.
Yeah, I want to go there. Probably a lot of seafood and stuff, I'd imagine. You're on the coast.
Yeah.
Probably good.
Like
I imagine
exactly.
On the food, what do you throw it on the bobby? Isn't that what they say? The bobby.
Yeah. Shrimp on the bobby.
I want to go there bad, dude. I would love to visit Australia.
Yeah, that travel time, though, it would kill me, though.
Yeah. Yes.
Real quick. I want to address something. This kid Mac DeMarco, if he's talking to me, he's calling me fat, bro. You put this fat dick in your mouth. How about that?
What happened?
How about that? How about you put this fatty in your mouth, bro? Okay. Sorry, I know that's your show.
Never seen Mac DeMarco here. Never seen him.
Or is that your people, Prop?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, what the hell, Prop? You bringing your boys?
Oh, Propaholic.
Oh no. Oh no, he's giving Propaholic that shit too.
Dang, man.
He's taking turns.
He's talking to Rob. I thought he was talking to me. Listen, even still,
I'm not out here hating, man. I'm out here.
Yeah, says never mind. My
you
dick
guys
stays
have
in
like
my
best
pants.
bets, but damn, man, like you out here giving hate. Like if you want to hate on me, hate on me, man. I'm not gonna hate on you. Like
I will.
I'll hate on him for you. What, man? I'm not you. And you're not me, so hate on me as much as you want.
It's all good,
this dude came in
guys.
hot.
All right.
Oh my man.
This is fun. This is
Johnny,
fun, guys.
I'm sorry, man. I brought it to your channel, bro.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Let's
Let him be, man. Let him be a negative.
Let's move on.
In his life.
Is that your boy?
Yeah. Everyone looks at him and just breathes. Ugh, this guy. This guy's a negative energy.
It might be the where you're from, New York, right? New York.
Up? Yo, hell yeah, I'm a New Yorker. I'm a loudmouth Long Islander, man. We're loud.
Couldn't tell, Brandon.
We're all loudmouths. I'm sorry, man.
It might be that piano in the background that's getting everybody.
Classic.
They really want to hear you. They want to hear you sing like an Elton John song or
something. I got
something.
this nice automated piano in my background. I'm sorry if it gets you mad. I'm sorry. You can buy a $25 green screen on Amazon if you want.
Jeez. All
right. Let's move on to the next one here.
Shopaholic.
Okay.
You guys got to hug this out virtually, man. You guys are all right.
Clayton Rodriguez versus Clayton Rodriguez versus Shannon Ross.
Dale's not even that chubby. I don't know why Dale went.
Who do I want to start this one?
That was good. All right,
Cody,
we're all friends
this
now.
one off.
The Alpha Dogs came in. Everybody, we got it all good.
I know. We all.
Which one? What fight we on?
We're gonna do Clayton Rodriguez and Ross.
Well, I seen Dev just put that Rodriguez.
Stick to the game plan like the generals.
Yeah, put yourself on mute if you're laughing out too loud. All right.
So Dev came in and said that Rodriguez missed weight because he put Rodriguez with the Z, but it would be
he did miss weight. Rodriguez with an S missed weight. He was 127. I don't know if he maybe redid it and.
Oh, he could come back out and do it. That's probably some of the shit Dale's saying, man. You know, flying across the world, doing all that stuff. You probably have a couple people. I mean, Tukhugov.
I didn't know Rodriguez missed weight.
Yeah, that's what Dev said.
Yep.
So I mean, it kind of sucks, you know. It's never good with the small dudes because they're gonna usually there's something more, but they're usually way bigger trying to make that lower weight. But yeah, man, what I watched with Rodriguez is this kid's good everywhere. He's explosive, he's fast, good wrestling, good jiu-jitsu, good striking. I mean, good everywhere, to be honest. Powerful leg and body kicks. I just think that he's better than Ross everywhere. Watching Ross fighting low-level guys just like Rodriguez, pretty much. I mean, I thought Rodriguez beat Vergara. I think Vergara is a better version of Shannon Ross. They're kind of like the same thing, like volume guys that come forward, do a lot of volume, but decent. I think that Vergara is going to have the better offensive and defensive grappling than Shannon Ross. Shannon Ross lost to one of the Makhachev brothers, which is terrible because them dudes were not even like real fighters. But Shannon Ross, he's got good cardio. He's got good volume. You've seen in the second round on the Contender Series when he started coming forward and started putting a little pace on Salvador before he got caught again and dropped, because that's another thing. And you can see him on the regional scene get dropped a lot too. I just think that Rodriguez is better than him everywhere, and he should win this fight. And I think that he should get a club and sub, even though, I mean, I don't think Ross is as undurable as he showed in his last fight, but maybe he is, you know, maybe when he steps up and fights a little bit better fighter, he gets dropped and gets finished. So I'm taking Rodriguez. I mean, I'm going to say second round club and sub, but it could be a decision too. I just think that he should win this fight. He's better everywhere. I think he's better than Salvador that just beat Ross. So give me Rodriguez. He finishes out my parlay with Tukhugov, which kind of messed up because both missed weight. I got the fucking fat boy parlay.
Oh, you got the missed weight parlay.
You got the missed weight parlay.
What are the odds?
But hey, at the end of the day, the missed weight parlay still ain't the Jack Jenkins Loma parlay.
You should be good, Cody, but come on, man.
Yeah,
like,
did them guys
like shit?
Right? Did them guys have more time to make weight, or it was over? They called
I know.
It.
I think they literally wait right over.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay. So I got the fat
I don't think
boys,
they get more time.
I think the fat boy, the small fat boy parlay is still they're better than their opponents everywhere.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You should be good, man. I don't see how that is quite
so
Brandon.
I got Rodriguez.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
And
Brandon, who do you like?
Yeah, so I actually have like 3 prop bets on this fight. I have Rodriguez by sub at plus 380. I have Rodriguez by sub at 15-1 on FanDuel, round 2. And I have the round 3 sub on FanDuel at plus 26-1. So, like, Rodriguez, I think he's going to strike with Ross in the first round. He's going to kick the leg. He's going to kick the body, right? I don't really like how Ross got his back taken by Urseg in the first round. He got controlled for about 2.5 minutes. I really like how Rodriguez has multiple variety of submissions. And I just don't think like the plus 380 sub, I think the line is way off. I think the round 2 sub is way off. And the round 3 sub, like, I could see Rodriguez like pouring volume on the feet and maybe getting him out of there. But like Ross is very tough. He had an injury in his last fight. I understand he's coming back about like 7 months later, but like this guy is tough. He's not a like you guys could say he's a bum. He's 13-6. He's making his UFC debut in Australia, probably because he lives in Australia. But like I don't see this guy getting knocked out. Like Salvador is very lengthy for that division. He throws hooks from like unusual positions, and Rodriguez doesn't do that. But Rodriguez has a grappling background. Plus 380 for the sub. I think this fight gets out of round 1. So I took those 2 late round sub props. So I think Rodriguez honestly gets him out of there late by submission. So give me the fat sub props on this fight because I think that's the best way to play it here.
Right on. Dale, who do you like?
I can get on board with some of the things you're saying. It's very strange. So the missed weight is one thing. Although I do believe in the tactical weight miss. I do believe that there's some people that tactically miss weight because they want to get a finish or they want to get a highlight finish because they think it will push something further. It'll do more for them, right? I'm not saying that Rodriguez missed weight on purpose. I'm just saying that it might be an environmental factor, but it might also be he can miss weight by a half a pound or a pound and not get the fight canceled, know that his opponent will still take it, not drain himself as much with the travel, and he's beating a guy on his home soil. So chances are you're going to get a higher level opponent when you get back, if that's the case. And again, that's tinfoil hat. While I've got the tinfoil hat on, I want to remind you that Shannon Ross's nickname is the Turkish Delight. He's Turkish. And what just happened? We had a massive earthquake in Turkey. And if it's anything like we've seen for the performance out of Marina Moroz after the war in Ukraine started, he's going to come out and look better than he's ever looked before. Now, again, that's narrative, that's fight fixing, that's James Krause, that's full on just conspiracy theory. Who has more ways to win this fight? Rodriguez does. But Shannon Ross is a dog, and I know some people that are very well respected in the capping community are on Ross, and I won't discount that. Personally, this is a no play for me. I understand the argument from both of you gentlemen on how and who and when, but this is a no play for me because I can't get an accurate read on it, and I was slightly on a Rodriguez inside the distance play, but him missing weight has pushed me off of that, so I have no play here, no action.
Right on. Yeah, I like Rodriguez here as well. I just think he's the better fighter overall. I like his striking. The one thing that kind of worries me a little bit is if Ross does push the pace on him and push him back.
Sure.
He didn't really look that great against CJ Vergara when he did that. But even though I still think Rodriguez won that fight, it was very close, but he just didn't look as good as I thought he would or good on the Contender Series or in his other fights that I saw. But that's one way to get to Rodriguez. And Ross does do a pretty good job at that, at least early on. So we'll see if this fight extends into the second round, maybe. And I think if it does, I think Rodriguez should be able to handle him easily with striking, with grappling, with wrestling, whatever he wants. But that first round might be a little greasy. But after that, I think Rodriguez should win decision, however you want to say, decision, sub, knockout, whatever you want to say. I just think he's the better fighter, other than just that initial pace in the beginning. Maybe it'll like throw him off kilter or something like that.
Yeah, guys,
Right.
2 fights in 3 years for Shannon Ross as well. So very
he took a lot of damage in that last fight. And I know he said he had appendicitis, but that's not on your jaw. Like he was getting punched in the face, not the body.
Wait a second. Yeah. Have you had appendicitis? It feels like you've got an alien in your body trying to get out. Yeah, bro. That's worse.
But getting punched in the face, though. I mean, I feel like
Dude.
it was his jaw that gave out, not his.
Like he is tough, but man, like Rodriguez is very tough too, very technically too. But
how good is that Salvador dude? We don't even know if he was.
Look, man,
if he was like plus 260 to Shannon Ross, I'm telling you, Shannon Ross. I don't know. He lost to that Makhachev dude. He lost two fights ago to a guy that was like 5-3. But how good is Rodriguez? I mean,
I'm not dying on this hill at all. I was just saying the.
Oh no, yeah, no. It is probably. I mean, I hope Rodriguez gets him out of there early because it could be tough, man.
They both should be the best favorites on this whole entire card. Like even better than Loma, if I'm going to be honest with you, Robert.
How dare you, Brandon?
I'm sorry, Johnny, but it's women's MMA. We got to be honest with Robert here.
Robert, what's up, man? He brings up a good point here. I hear that Rodriguez and Tukhugov both miss weight. It is still a good idea to bet them. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Rodriguez, I mean, both of them tend to slow down in their fights anyways. So, like, maybe they're doing it to help them. They need to win. Maybe they're doing it to help. But I don't know. I mean,
I believe Tukhugov's a better favorite to bet. Like, if you're choosing between the two, I believe Tukhugov is the
like
bigger,
9,600 on a guy who misses weight. But, like, damn, man.
Yeah,
150. That's a weird. Yeah,
not a good look. I'll tell you.
I think they're both better than their opponents.
I think it's still safe. Yeah,
and both of them came pretty far across the world too. Yeah. So you got to add that in, like Dale was saying earlier.
Very true. All right, let's get to probably the closest fight and of the card. It's going to be Culibao versus Baghdasaryan. Brandon, start this one off. Who do you like and why?
I'm on Culibao here, and I played Culibao for a unit at -115. Baghdasaryan against Colin Anglin. Like, Colin Anglin is not a good ranked UFC fighter in my mind. He's a wrestler, and Baghdasaryan, like, Colin Anglin has never in his career has had a high guard in his career, hasn't guarded the high leg kicks, which Baghdasaryan loves. And Bruno Souza is a counterpuncher karate style fighter. Like, Joshua Culibao is going to pressure Baghdasaryan from the very start. And when you guys watch Culibao on the tape, like, Culibao is checking these leg kicks. And even when he's not checking these leg kicks, he's eating them coming forward. He's throwing combinations. And, like, against Charles Jourdain, right, guys? Like, he could have arguably won that fight against Charles Jourdain. Took the first round. Second round was very close. He lost the third round. A lot of people are going to lose third rounds to Charles Jourdain, but Culibao can use the wrestling here. I know Baghdasaryan has pretty good takedown defense, but, like, man, Culibao has very good kickboxing, uses the inside leg kicks, has a purple belt in BJJ. Baghdasaryan hasn't really seen a high-level takedown guy, and I think the purple belt of Culibao can pull off, and I really like his close distance. I think he's the better boxer. I think he could kick the inside leg. I like Baghdasaryan's pressure in the first round, but the guy slows down. So give me Culibao in this spot at pick 'em money. Like, Baghdasaryan hasn't fought in a year and a half. Like, where the hell have you been? You haven't fought two good UFC opponents, and now you're fighting Culibao in his hometown who likes to pressure you and then likes to box you at close range. Man, give me Culibao -115. This guy's a dog, man. He committed to MMA in 2017. I think this guy is legit, man. I think he's going to be something force to be reckoned with in this division.
I like your confidence. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I love Cody. My confidence here, man. I know people are on Baghdasaryan here, and I don't blame them, but I love Culibao here.
Yeah, man. Like, this is going to be a good fight because I think Baghdasaryan, he'll be coming forward, though. I mean, he's got that pressure kickboxing. Supposedly had like hundreds of kickboxing fights. Josh Culibao, he's been fighting since he was a kid too. He was doing like the kid world stuff and all that, man. He's good. They both have good striking. I think Baghdasaryan is going to be coming forward, putting the pressure on. Culibao has that nice counter punching, like how he was hitting Choi because he switches stance, man, and throws out of either stance really nice. I like that. But he's so low volume, man, that I think he's going to be dependent on getting the knockdowns again, like Sun Woo Choi. But I think he can. I think that because how Baghdasaryan comes in with so much pressure that Culibao is going to be able to be moving and just land some big shots here or there. I think they'll probably go 1-1. I think Baghdasaryan could win that first round because he comes out hard, tough. Second round could be close. And then second round, I think Culibao, can start taking over a little bit. And then Baghdasaryan slows down in that third round. So I think Culibao will end up being able to win that third round and take this fight, even though both of them slow down. I stayed far away from this fight because this is a very tough fight because I'm high on that. I'm actually pretty high on Baghdasaryan too. Like watching him fight, the dude's tough as hell, man. And he's super tough. He's just I don't know, man. I don't think he's going to knock out Culibao. Culibao, he's got 10 wins. 6 of them are decisions. I don't think he's knocking out Baghdasaryan. I think it's going to go to decision, and it's going to be super close. So I just stayed away. I'll take Culibao. It's lying close for a reason, but I'll take Culibao. I say by decision. I don't think he finishes Baghdasaryan, but it's close, man. Close. Even a split. This could be a split. So,
yeah. Dale, who do you like? I think you're muted.
You're on mute.
There you go.
Thought it was off. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm a big believer in the domino effect, and I think at a certain point, a hometown fighter loses, and it starts setting, the dominoes in motion for some of the other ones. I don't know if Culibao's it or not. I'm Propaholic shaking his head. I don't know if that's the case. Real quick, MMA Prodigy, stick around for a second. I want to say something to you because you said, why does Dale always bring politics into his breakdowns? The reason why I do that is because this is an individualized sport and it matters to these people. Whenever they get mic time afterwards, they thank their God, and then what do? They usually talk about something else that's going on, in particular, foreign fighters. It's very important to them to bring light to what's happening in their homeland. And if you think that tragedy doesn't play into performances, I'm going to remind you of a couple times that's happened. How about the New Orleans Saints going to the NFC Championship game after
Giants.
Hurricane? Yeah. After
but I mean, they did it too. Yeah.
Then you've got the Giants. Then you've got the Boston Red Sox winning the World Series after the Boston bombing. Right. How about Dale Earnhardt Jr. winning at the same track that his dad died at the next race at the track? How about the Marshall football team winning their next game after 37 of their players were killed in a plane crash? These things matter. Like it actually plays into that. I don't know if it's the universe, whatever you want to call it. It plays into it, right? And it's just it's something where it's an individualized sport, so it's one-on-one. These athletes, these women, these men, they go in there and they carry it with them. Now, I'm not saying it always plays out that way, but I'm saying it is something to consider on whatever sort of non-analytical spectrum you want to put things on, which I realize for a lot of people is complete horseshit. But that being said, it tends to affect they're normal people outside of it. And anybody that's done this or spoken to a fighter realizes more than anything else. They're just normal people, man. They just want to punch people and get paid for it. So so anyway, rant over. This is your show. I'm not doing it like I'm doing mine. Tuesday nights, come watch me preach. No, I'm just kidding. That being said, I think Culibao might be the linchpin here. I think it might be the one that he starts to fall that starts the domino effect. I like Melsik. I think he's very good. I think he's going to carry more power. My thing with Culibao is he's able to dictate the way fights go. Like he can make you fight his fight, and he can, even though you push on him, he can absorb that and then kind of carry it and bring you back over to him, right? Like, so he can keep it at range, he can speed it up, he can slow it down. He's very good at controlling the tempo of things given the right opportunity. Melsik can't let him do that, and that's how he's going to have to win. But honestly, this is a coin flip fight for me. If you say Baghdasaryan, I won't argue against that. If you say Culibao, I say, okay, that's great too. Because Culibao, I think he has a Jalen Turner fight. We got to throw that out. Like, just throw that out. That doesn't count for anything. That's like Shainis with Sadiq Youssef. We'll just throw that away. It doesn't count. All things considered, this comes out to be a pretty even fight. I think this fight will say a lot for the winner as far as to what their overall ceiling is, because this is going to be a tough fight. This is a low level. I lost the guy. Damn, I was gonna say it's a low level Nathaniel Wood versus, and then Casey Kenny. No, Casey Kenny versus Nathaniel Wood. That's what this fight plays out. It's a low level version of that. Two long, good strikers with good cardio. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But I won't argue either one of these.
Yeah. Again, like this, I think this is the closest fight on the card. I can see it from either side. I ultimately went with Culibao ever so slightly because just in his last fight, I think he looked a little bit better than Baghdasaryan did. Didn't really like him in this fight against, I think it was Souza. He slowed down a lot, and I think if he does that again, it's not going to be good. I still think it goes to decision. Maybe he wins that first round pretty convincingly, but Culibao's tough. Like, he's going to keep coming forward. He's got good head movement, good boxing. He just has to be a little careful with those leg kicks and stuff early on, but I think he'll be okay if he can take those. second and third round, I think it could be his, and it might even be a split, like Cody said. It's gonna be so freaking close.
It's a tough fight to call.
I'm not
Both these guys are good fighters, man.
The only thing I would bet is the over.
Souza. If you slow down against Bruno Souza, like, how is that not alarming? Like, especially if you're a kickboxer and the guy's a karate style fighter. Like,
yeah, they didn't even really
that's
grapple.
alarming, man. That fight sucked. I watched that fight on 2 times just to watch the film and to approve Culibao's money line, and I was sickened with it, man. I was sickened with it.
Things we go through, man, with tape.
Things is what MMA bettors got to do in order to be so confident in our guy.
But if I would bet this fight, I think the over 2.5 is a good look. I think both these guys are super tough. I don't think they. It was like, I mean, they do have knockout power, but
Culibao round 3, 15-1. Better cardio through 2 rounds.
That could be a good play.
Boxing to the body if he works the body in the first 2 rounds. I do not hate 15-1 if you guys like fat props.
The nervous thing is like Baghdasaryan had like 4 fights in a row where he finished guys in like 18 seconds. Now, granted,
but Cody, like, those guys are boxers. They don't have any MMA fights, and they kind of, if you look at those guys' Tapology records, they suck, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, Culibao.
I know they suck.
This is gonna be a good fight.
It's gonna be a great fight.
I don't know. It's hard to like really feel.
Oh no, it's hard to be confident in a pick 'em fight, but my side, I stand by my side, and I will.
He's a little bigger. So got some reach too.
Yeah, we got Dev saying Melsik by KO. Mushroom says Culibao by 3rd round or decision.
Hell yeah, Mushroom.
P. Annan said I train with Culibao. He's legit as fuck on the mat. Also, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Dev said Joshua gets knocked down every fight. Did he get knocked down his last fight?
Yes, he got knocked down in late 2nd round.
Okay.
He got 2 knockdown's earlier prior to that.
Though. Did Nerd and Becky knock him down?
Yes, he knocked him down pretty early. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe
he hits like a truck though in round 1s.
Maybe Baghdasaryan can get him out of there.
I hope
it's gonna be a good fight. Man, Culibao is tough. He doesn't look like he'd be as tough as he is, but it's tough.
Yeah. Dirty Reg said I was pondering that switch today while I was working Dev. I'm not betting it anyway. Just for the Tapology contest. Yeah, this is a close fight. It's tough to bet. You got to be super confident like Brandon to bet this fight one way
or
another.
Closest fight on the card, guys. If you guys don't have a read, don't bet it.
Yeah.
Are those pork chops in the picture in the profile picture?
Yeah, who?
Dirty Reg.
Dirty Reg pork chops. Yeah,
those pork chops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. They look delicious.
And they look good. Now I'm hungry.
A little Berkshire bone in. Okay.
Tajik Bay. What's up, Tajik Bay? Thanks for coming out, man.
Tajik Bay, the GOAT of MMA. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming out.
Yep. And then Ryan gave us a very good question. If you guys want to answer this, most beautiful UFC athlete ever, according to you.
It's a trap.
You guys, it's a trap. It's a trap, or do you want to say?
They got to be in the UFC.
It says UFC
best fighter ever.
No, the most beautiful.
Most beautiful.
Carano. It's easy. That's easy. Gina Carano back in the day.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, she's attractive.
I mean, I got a list. I mean,
honestly,
that's just off the top.
Current, but Tabitha Ricci, man.
I thought he was going to say Carlos Ulberg. I was for sure that he was going to say Carlos Ulberg.
I mean,
he's a beautiful human being. No.
Objectively speaking, I feel like you have to go with Luke Rockhold. I mean, the guy or Alan Joban. Both of listen. And
Elias Theodoros.
No, Elias Theodoros. No. R.I.P.
Elias. R.I.P. too. Yeah.
R.I.P. No.
Friend of the show, Jervin.
Dude, Rockhold and what's his face? Joban got paid like millions to be models for Armani and Ralph Lauren. Like, I mean, if we're going by actual measurable metrics, I mean, those guys are. I mean,
the female side, man.
Well, I understand that. If you
Paige Van Zandt's killing it on OnlyFans, though.
Bro, come on.
Let's go, Jumbo.
Yuck.
Come on.
Get out of here. Don't do that.
It's always got to go Brazil. It's got to be Brazilian in the end. You got to find your Poliana Vianas or your Lipskis. That's the way you got to go, man. There's a list of Derns.
I'm really upset.
Ricci's.
You're not going to say Priscilla Cachoeira? I'm
getting there. Getting there. Getting there. It's a list.
It was the next one. I got you.
All
right, guys. All right, we'll move on up. Okay, mine's gonna be Lauren Murphy. All right, next one is gonna be Tyson Pedro versus Modestas Bukauskas.
Ooh, this is gonna be a good fight.
I'm gonna say Dale. Start this one off.
Lauren Murphy looks like she waited tables at a Waffle House and it caught on fire.
A lot of fights there too. She's a tough woman, bro. I don't know if I've ever seen a woman take a beating like that, man.
Unbelievable, bro. Like, unbelievable. Seriously.
Yeah.
Listen, I think I saw Lauren Murphy and Alexis Davis fight on Street Beefs one time, dude.
Yeah. Shade.
All right. I'm sorry. Johnny, this is your channel, man. I'm sorry. I gotta get it together here.
Hey, it's all good, man.
Okay.
I love it. This is why people keep coming back, having good times, having good laughs.
I think Bukauskas is a live dog here. I think we're getting so much recency bias love on Tyson Pedro, who is average. He's average. Like when this opened up, he was like minus 650, almost minus 800, and then it immediately got brought to reality very quickly. Minus 1,000, says Brandon. Even better. So this ain't Harry Hunsucker. This is not who Tyson Pedro is fighting. Modestas Bukauskas, Cage Warrior champ. He's a very real fighter. He's a very real fighter. Do not be confused by, Khalil Roundtree breaking his leg and somehow think that he is not good. He is a very good fighter and a UFC level talent. Tyson Pedro, a win over a shell of Shogun. And over 2 cans, his last 2 wins are cans, minus 4,000, minus 14. You're just making up numbers at that point. How on earth do you go into this and justify these lines on Tyson Pedro? It's dog or pass. It's value or leave it alone. Inside the distance, maybe because they're 205ers that are going to go out there and try to take each other's heads off, and you have inside the distance with the hometown crowd behind it. But if you're looking for a live dog, like a plus 200 or greater that has a real chance at ending the fight, not just winning, but actually ending a fight, it's Modestas Bukauskas. And he just fought a couple weeks ago. The dude's fresh. He's got the reps in. It's not like he's coming off a long layoff. He literally just won. So if live dog play Modestas Bukauskas, I'm not hating if you don't want to play it, but I mean, you're not going to find. He'll either knock Tyson Pedro out or he's going to go to sleep. This is not going to decision. He's going to knock him out. He's going to go to sleep, play inside the distance. It's chalky as shit if you want. But if you want a dog that's going to go out there and try to swing and literally separate it from consciousness, Modestas Bukauskas is your guy.
Right on. Brandon, what do you like?
Yeah, so the final leg of my parlay is Loma. I have Tyson Pedro and Loma money lines both parlayed. But I like Pedro here. I mean, but like if you look at Modestas in his last 2 fights, like he fought a straight boxer on the feet who was very flat-footed. Guy didn't throw any leg kicks, and like Modestas couldn't even get that guy out of there. Chuck Campbell, guy has a 6-1 Tapology MMA record, 39 years of age. Like the guy wasn't really impressive to me. He didn't throw anything until the late 3rd round. And when he started throwing in the 4th round, he got knocked out extremely early because his hands were very down when he was throwing, when he started to try to throw high volume because he was down 2 rounds in the fight. I really love Tyson Pedro's pressure. I loved how Pedro has honestly matured more. He came back since 2018. I understand, guys. It's like Villanueva. It's Harry Hunsucker, but the UFC is building up this guy because they see potential in him. They're bringing him to UFC Australia, fighting Modestas. Like, Modestas, I understand. Khalil Roundtree, Jimmy Crute, like this, and even Olajacek. Like, Olajacek gassed in the first 3 minutes of that fight. If you guys rewatch it, trying to finish him. Like, I really love Pedro, and I like how he has been kind of being more patient in his last 2 fights, throwing the body kicks, throwing the leg kicks. Like, I think this guy is going to be, like, very good in this light heavyweight division. 2016, he's fighting Ilir Latifa. Like, I know Latifa's not high volume. He has power, but, like, Modestas lets the fight come to him, and he's a counterpuncher off his jab against the back of the cage. So I think Pedro pours on the pressure. If you guys have the under 1.5 in a Tyson Pedro fight at plus money, I love that because it's the Tyson Pedro plus money under 1.5. So I love that too. So I think Pedro's honestly going to finish this guy. But if Pedro wins a decision, I'd be extremely shocked. But if you guys like Modestas, I don't mind it. If you guys got him plus 700, congratulations to you. But I'm all over Pedro here.
Right on. Cody.
Yeah, man. It's weird. Both of them, both these guys are like decent. Pedro is the definition of a good hammer and a terrible nail. Like if you watch any of his fights, he's a 1st round fighter, man. He's got 9 finishes, and all of his finishes are in the 1st round. He goes super hard. He's talented. He can knock you out on the feet. He can take you to the ground and submit you. But yeah, man. I mean, I know he was fighting Latifi and them guys back in like 2016, but he was like 26 then. You know what I mean? He wasn't like a 21, and he's a lifelong martial artist. It's just like even with who is it? Shogun. When Shogun turned the table on him, started giving him a beating, like he kind of just gives up. Even with Ovin St. Preux took him down. That was a weird thing where he just kind of straight armbar or key locked him or whatever. But I don't know, man. Modestas Bukauskas, like Dale was saying, he's not terrible. Like he's got decent stand up. He's got decent takedown defense. He's got a terrible chin though. Like he's got a terrible chin. Like against Crute tried to take him down right off the bat. Couldn't take him down. Crute's got good takedowns. And then once they started striking, then he got knocked out right after it. I'm going to say that either, as usual, Tyson Pedro, either he gets that first round finish like he goes for, or he's going to get finished himself in that second or early third round. I bet the under 2.5. I got it up to 2.5. The 1.5, I like it too. But it's just that the only thing with that is Modestas Bukauskas ain't really a finisher in under 1.5. He's finished 13 of his 15 wins, but it's usually a little bit later. He could finish early if Pedro just comes out right away throwing bombs and they both just have to throw bombs. Because actually, Modestas has good counter punching. I don't got a good read on this. He's on super short notice. I'm going to take Tyson Pedro. I'm going to say Pedro lands some type of takedown or maybe even gets a knockdown and gets some type of sub, man. But I have no confidence in it. I bet the under 2.5 at -180. And I like that. What is it? 30 out of their 33 fights or total fights together have ended inside the distance. So, and most of them are in a 1 round and 2 rounds. So give me that under. And I'm going to say Pedro gets it, but no confidence at all. Because like Dale said, Bukauskas ain't terrible at all. So
yeah,
he's tougher than the other guy that he was about to fight, the Chinese dude that he was about to fight. He's definitely tougher than that dude and way more well-rounded. So
yeah, I'm going to go with Pedro as well. I'm not as confident as Brandon is, but here's the reasons why. Like super short notice, like Cody said with Modestas. Also, his leg injury. I don't know if it's fully healed. Pedro does have good kicks, so it might mess up his brain or his game plan or something like that. Maybe get off his game. I think this fight ends in one way or another in the first round. I don't know who does it, but I like the under 1.5 here. I got the under 1.5 at +105, I believe. I think one of these guys are going to finish one another, to be honest.
You know what great podcast etiquette is? You come onto a show and you argue with the host. Johnny, you realize that that Tyson Pedro just came back from a terrible knee injury.
Yeah, he did as well too.
Okay, so I'm just saying.
I knew that.
Both of these,
but it wasn't as recent.
Off, though, man. Like
Tyson Pedro's listen. Tyson Pedro is what's his professional record? 9-3, 9-4.
Yeah.
He's been fighting in the UFC for this will be his 7th year.
Yeah, he don't fight. He
don't fight, bro. He don't fight.
But like, look at the opponents he's fought, man. Any of these opponents, and even the opponents he's fought, have not Modestas. He fought Khalil Roundtree and submitted him, and within 3 minutes and a half, and it's like 2017, though.
That was 6 fucking years ago. That's not the same person.
Still, man, Modestas is getting like leg kick knocked out, like front leg kick. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, like, I just meant like recent injury. Like he's just coming off. I know he had 2 fights, but they were kind of back-to-back fights. Right. So
fights in by TKO -106. What's your thoughts on that?
That's not bad.
That's the spot.
You like that spot? Because that's my last spot of the card I've been considering for about 2 days now.
Pedro could sub him though.
I mean, the guy shot 8 takedowns in about 7 years of UFC competition. So,
but when he gets a takedown, though, he breaks
a takedown.
When he gets a takedown, he breaks arms and elbows heads off, though.
He has he has a great ground game. So,
like you said with the Khalil Roundtree, like he took him down one time and it was lights out. So it's tough. I mean, instead of picking a side because Bukauskas is well-rounded and Pedro's got a ton of questions. Both of them got a ton of questions surrounding them. Mm-hmm. Take the durability of both because Pedro's been finished in 2 out of his 3 losses. Modestas been finished 4 times in the first round.
I actually think both guys are good hammers and bad nails. Actually, they both are bad.
Yeah, the under on this, but I see Tajik saying though, if Pedro doesn't get it early, Modestas sometimes can be not like his last finish was in the fourth round. Was in the fourth round. So I mean, if it gets terrible and Modestas doesn't go for the kill, like because the only other person not finished one of these guys basically is Ilir Latifi. But if you will let him hold you up against the cage, he'll hold you up against the cage for 3 rounds. So, but yeah, man, this is a risky fight. There's some stuff, but I like that under 2.5. The 1.5 even too. I mean, it could get wild, but I like to have that little extra cushion.
I love that play.
Have you guys trademarked that good hammer bad nail phrase? Because I'm gonna steal that. I just want you to know that. I've never heard that before.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
It's amazing. Okay,
that's a good MMA for good hammer bad nail. Like they'll pound somebody out, but let them get swept one time.
Yeah, if they get hit once, they're like, oh my god, I don't know what to do.
I'm taxing that for sure.
Who is I think one of the best ones would be Jordan Wright.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Jordan Wright,
like 100%. Next week.
Next week's
under
terrible,
guys.
Man.
Please,
they're doing us dirty
under.
next week, dude. They're doing us dirty next week.
Yeah, it's just insane.
Yeah, because Modestas
I looked
sometimes
at
doesn't put
it's so bad
pressure.
that card. It's so bad. I don't even want to actually do a breakdown video for it. That's how
I'll
bad
have
it
fun
is.
doing tape. I'm already 4 fights in.
There we go.
Yeah,
You're dedicated, bro.
Yeah, I don't even want to touch it.
It's worse than
I'll do the main event. I can talk 20 minutes on the main event.
I'm looking forward to that. Great fight.
I mean, it's the only one you have to look forward to, really. There's no other fight. Like, I just don't want to see any other fight.
They ran out of contender series guys and everything.
Yeah.
I love that first fight.
We get into the main card now?
All right, kids. Yeah, we are at the main event. We're here. We did it. We did it, guys. But before we do, everyone's information is in the description. Please go like their stuff, subscribe. They're on Twitter, Instagram, maybe TikTok. I don't know about that. I don't do TikTok myself.
I don't do TikTok.
But definitely go check out.
I'm going to start it, sadly.
There you go. So everyone go check out everyone's stuff. It's in the links are in the description. Please go do that. All these guys are fantastic. As you can see, we are having a blast.
We got fights tomorrow. We got a great UFC pay-per-view, man. We got to enjoy this card because we don't get it. But did you see? I think there's like 2 pay-per-view. Is there 2 in February? I know there's 2 in March. They're going to just start every card.
No, I think there's only 1 in March or February.
Even like the Ferris Sandhagen card, if you guys haven't looked at that card for a UFC Fight Night, that's the best violence card I've ever seen.
The San Antonio one?
Bottom to top. Yes.
They love bringing the violence.
I want to go, and I'm from New York.
In Texas, they like to bring the violence in Texas.
They do. They do.
Dude, UFC Austin was amazing. I was
which
there
is
live.
good because which is good though because Texas has notoriously some of the worst judging in the history of judging. So bring the violence, baby.
Yeah.
But they have one of the best refs in Kerry Hatley. Kerry Hatley always heavy ref rotation, and Kerry Hatley underrated
little big dude
ref. Yeah, I love
little
Kerry
big
Hatley.
Dude. Yeah, New York, they don't even care. Remember in New York, which girl fight? And they was like about to read it, and dude's like, no, wait, I'm gonna change.
Oh yeah,
shit.
it was Carolina and
Alien Perez.
And nobody nothing came out of that.
Gomez
that's
Juarez.
like you want to investigate Krause and them boys. Why don't they investigate that kind of crap too? Or these judges. Dude, bro, whatever James Krause is doing ain't 1/1000th of what these judges are doing. Like they're just taking straight payments and just putting in the card before the fights.
There you go.
They'll always.
That's why we have them on.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, let's go to the main event because I have to use the restroom.
Okay.
Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menifield. Dale? No, I'm not gonna pee. I'm gonna pee. Look at these beers I'm drinking.
I'm gonna do a number 1.
I'm doing number 1. Okay.
Take the laptop in there. Come on. Get the OnlyFans.
All right. Well, okay, Dale. Dale, you're up, man.
Awesome.
I'll be back.
I love Menifield in this spot. I really do.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, Dale.
I'm
at the price or just in general as the better
in
fighter?
general. This is a hill.
Okay.
This is a hill I'm willing to defend. There's a couple of underdog hills I won't defend.
Big hill.
This is
big hill.
Yes,
a lot of coverage.
Alonzo Menifield has more momentum. Jimmy Crute's coming off a very, very bad injury, and Jimmy Crute physically fancies himself to be something he's not. It's something I said on my show this week. Jimmy Crute wants to get in these big blood and guts brawls all the time. He's not built for that. His neck, his head, physiologically speaking, he's not built for that. And Alonzo Menifield, is getting better cardio. We can look at him and go, okay, yeah, you have all this muscle, you have all this mass, you've got to move it around, it's got to have fuel to do it. And early on in his career, we had real cardio issues. We had very real cardio issues. But he's taken that 6 to 6:30 ceiling and he's pushed it to about 9 minutes now. So we've got about 9 minutes where we are very, very dangerous. Now, after 9 minutes, things start to hit, we fall off the plateau, but we've given ourselves more time. Jimmy Crute will come out fired up. One, because he's missed out and the division he feels is moving on without him. Two, it's a hometown crowd. Three, he's coming off a devastating injury and he's going to want to prove that he still belongs towards the top. That feeds perfectly into Menifield. I see this fight going some semblance of the way we saw Cain Velasquez versus Francis Ngannou, where Jimmy tries to crash the distance. He tries to get in there as fast as he can because he doesn't want to get caught at range once he sees the speed, right? Menifield's going to come out. He's going to open up with an inside leg kick. He's going to pump a jab. He'll maybe even throw an overhand. And Crute's going to get a feel for the speed, and he's going to crash in. And that crash, he's going to realize is coming up against a big wall, right? And he's going to feel that mass of Alonzo Menifield. And even if Jimmy gets under and he does get a takedown, which I don't think he will, because I don't think he's going to get his arms around that big ass of Menifield's. If he can get him under there and he can dump him, even if he does, Menifield holds the strength to do the just get up defense at least once. And if he can do that, he can put the doubt seed planted deep in Jimmy Crute's mind. If he can hurt him, if he can make him feel the power, the strength, what's coming back the other end, he starts to fold Jimmy. I like a late round 1, early round 2 knockout for him. I think he gets him out of there. I really stand by the fact that Menifield has all the momentum. He's got more power, and Jimmy Crute fancies himself something that he's not. And he's going to get himself in a spot that he shouldn't be in. On paper, Jimmy Crute has all the skill to warrant the price on him currently, and he should win this fight. He's just shown himself to be very dumb inside the cage. He really does not fight intelligently. He just bites down on the mouthpiece and goes, and it's just not going to work for him here against Alonzo Menifield. Last thing I'm going to say, Menifield, when we talk about the nutrition and the rehydration and everything else, Menifield has the biggest body to try to get back into working condition when it comes to Australia. If he could not get that thing back refueled and energized the way he wants to, Jimmy Crute can get him round 2, late round 2, early round 3 finish, maybe Jimmy Crute or a decision win. But Menifield, I think we get 8-9 dangerous minutes out of him. And with Jimmy Crute being hit, he just fucking loves being hit in the face. He can't stop it. I think he gets him out of there, man. I'm on Menifield. Give me that plus money all day, dude. I love it.
I literally just heard like 30 seconds of that breakdown. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Brandon, who do you like?
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't like pick precise. Like, I maybe Menifield, maybe Crute, but like, guys, I'm a prop guy. I like the under 1.5. I got it extremely early at -105, so I'm very glad with that line. But I think either one of these guys honestly gets starched within the first 2.5 minutes of this fight. Like, you have Menifield, who is very right hand loaded. He's very flat footed. He does like to throw leg kicks to the outside leg. Jimmy Crute, who the Anthony Smith fight, like, he shoots a takedown when his leg is just being completely chopped for the first 4 minutes of that fight. Like, I can see Alonzo Menifield landing a big shot. I think Jimmy Crute has a huge speed advantage in this spot, but Menifield obviously has the power advantage. Let's say Jimmy Crute gets down Alonzo Menifield in the first round. Like, we all know who has the better ground game, and it's Jimmy Crute by a mile. Jimmy Crute submitted Paul Craig. When you're submitting Paul Craig, that's a monumental win by submission in that division. So I think if Jimmy Crute gets down Menifield, I think he can submit Menifield. And if you guys, I don't take weigh-ins to a huge perspective, but Menifield didn't look like himself in weigh-ins. He looked very like weak at weigh-ins. His eyes were very baggy in my mind, and I could see Alonzo coming out very first round reliant, and Alonzo Menifield round 1 TKO plus 750. Jimmy Crute's been finished in round 1 and his 3 losses. Like Alonzo Menifield's plus 180. Like, get him plus 750 round 1. The under 1.5 is now closing at -160. Like, I don't hate Menifield round 1 if you guys like Menifield, but violence is always my play. I love the under 1.5 here at my opening price, but even the under 1.5 now, I love it now, even at -160, because 20 of 24 fights, wins combined have finished under 1.5. So that's a great bet in my mind here.
Cody.
Yeah, man. Alonzo Menifield's not good. Like he's not good. Like man, listen. I'm old enough to remember him getting knocked out cold by Ovin St. Preux.
Like wrestling though.
Bro, 2 years ago, he got knocked out by Ovin St. Preux. Ovin St. Preux is like washed, folded, dried, put away, dude. Like you seen him go to basically split with Hua like 7 months ago. He lost to Devin Clark because he has 1 round of stuff in him, but his 1 round of stuff ain't nothing crazy. Like Menifield's not coming out throwing crazy combos, backing you up. He's got 1 right hand. He runs into the left hook like it's his job. Like that's what, dude. William Knight dropped him with the left hook and beats him. But like, it could go either way. But you shouldn't even be going like that close with William Knight. I lost money on Menifield in all 3 of his losses, and they're not even the good people. Devin Clark, William Knight, and Ovin St. Preux. And like he got pretty much he's really not good. Jimmy Crute's better than him everywhere other than fight IQ, right? If Jimmy Crute comes out here and starts wrestling right away, it's going to be tough at first. But Alonzo Menifield has 1 round of gas, of pure power gas. Like Jimmy Crute got his leg kicked out and blown out against Anthony Smith and then took him down 4 times in 1 minute. Like it was nothing, you know what I mean? Just was picking him up. I think Jimmy Crute's a little taller here. Menifield's got 2 inches of reach. Menifield's like 35 years old. Jimmy Crute's only 26, dude. Like I know he's coming off his injury, but he's gonna be improving. Where Menifield, we've seen what he's got. He's got freaking a right hand, and he's got it for like 1 round. I don't know. I think all of his wins are probably first round finishes, 12 finishes and under 1.5. I think he's got 1 in the second round. But Jimmy Crute's good, dude. Like Jimmy Crute, and his full potential is like could be a top 5 light heavyweight. And Alonzo Menifield ain't never been a top 5 heavyweight ever. Not losing to William Knight and Devin Clark and Ovin St. Preux. I just think as long as Jimmy Crute comes out, and here's the other thing: Jimmy Crute has phenomenal gas tank. Like he can come out and grapple with Alonzo, hold him up against cage, get him down 1 time, say Alonzo gets up, he can mat return him, make Alonzo do that a couple times, and Alonzo ain't knocking nobody out. Like he's knocked out like Paul Craig. Paul Craig threw like a spinning body kick against him, and then he knocked him out. But other than that, who's he beating? He beat that Askarov dude. That dude was a complete farce. Like that guy was like, his whole record, his whole thing was a lie. So it makes Alonzo Menifield look tough. He fought Misha Serkinov, who's on like a 6-fight losing streak, doesn't have a tricep, and went in the pocket and just started throwing with Alonzo Menifield. That's what he needs. Now, if Jimmy Crute comes out and does that, that's what he's going to do. But that's Alonzo Menifield's only chance to win this fight to me is a first-round knockout. After that, he slows down. Jimmy Crute's going to be putting a pace on him. So I think this is Jimmy Crute's fight to lose everywhere. And granted, he could come out and start exchanging, but I think after that Jamal Hill knockout, and then, he needs to get a win here. And this is his easiest opponent in a long time. Like he was fighting Jamal Hill. He's getting beat by Anthony Smith, Jamal Hill, not fucking Ovin St. Preux. Like Jimmy Crute would knock Ovin St. Preux out in the first round. Like Jimmy Crute's got hands. He came out against Modestas Bukauskas, couldn't get him down, knocked him out cold. Like, I don't know, man. I really think that Jimmy Crute, 26-year-old against 35, he's going to win this fight. He's going to come out. He's going to use his grappling. I think like right away, like he should have tried against Jamal Hill. I don't know if there would have been any other outcome now knowing how good Jamal Hill really is. But Jimmy Crute's good, man. So give me Jimmy Crute, and I think that he gets that finish. It may be more in the second round, though, because like I said, I think everybody's going to be betting that under 1.5, and it could hit. But I think Jimmy Crute's coming out here wrestle heavy. He's a grappler. He's not – he can strike, but he's a freaking grappler. So if he comes out and employs that game plan, he can win this fight easily, in my opinion. Stay out of the way of the right hand. That's all you have to do with Menifield. Yep. So stay out of the way of the right hand. Last the first round, and Crute has phenomenal cardio. That's why he finished Paul Craig and choked him out. Yeah, man. I like Crute. I didn't get around to betting him. I was really hoping it was going to go down to like -150 on Crute, and then I would have smashed it. But I think Crute's better everywhere, dude. He could even rock.
Not even -190 though. You wouldn't smash into -190.
No, because like I want to bet like 450. I want to bet like 450 to win 3. But I do, and it's dangerous. I stay away from these dangerous fights, man. When I bet a fight, dude, I want my opponent, I want my fighter, their opponent, to be not dangerous anywhere. Like I want him to be like, all right, he's gonna beat him up here, do this and that, or I'm just gonna bet the unders. If I think that they're both dangerous, then why not just bet the under and bet violence, which is what I like. But I'm telling you, Jimmy Crute's the better fighter here, man. I watched Alonzo. I lost money on all 3 of his losses, and the whole time I'm going, God damn, he sucks, dude. Yeah. But you see him knock out Misha Serkinov, and he got tapped out by Wellington Turman at one, and then you see him beat that Askarov, dude. That dude's a farce. But before that, he's what, 1-3 in his fights before he got them 2 layups. So
can I tap in here for a second?
Taken by William Knight. Like, why do you get your back taken by William Knight? I'm sorry.
Can I tap in here for a second?
Knight, bro.
First of all, Jimmy Crute beat Paul Craig by Kimura, which is not a choke. That's an exhaustion submission. He can't defend the limb anymore. Second of all,
he's got good cardio, though. That's what I'm saying about Crute.
He got fucking Peruvian neck.
That was terrible fight
by Misha Serkinov.
That was bad fight. But he dropped him.
One of one Peruvian neckties
but,
in UFC history.
But Misha Serkinov, before he lost the tricep, wasn't a bad fighter, and he's a high-level BJJ black belt. Like Menifield ain't hitting him with that. Okay. Menifield ain't Peruvian necktie. You know what I mean?
Menifield beat Paul Craig, so we're just going to go ahead and MMA math the shit out of that. And while we're adding up MMA math, he finished Misha Serkinov, who Peruvian necktied.
Yeah, but the whole style matchups about dude. The weirdest thing is I actually bet Serkinov.
Stop giving Serkinov slack.
At this point,
no, he dropped him and followed him to the ground. Though is what happened. Like Crute dropped him, hurt him, followed him down there. But Serkinov used to be a bad man.
I love and respect your opinion. But I need to understand how you think Jimmy Crute has a higher ceiling than Alonzo Menifield when he lost to Misha Serkinov, Anthony Smith, and Jamal Hill. Now, his wins, I'm not saying anything about the losses. His wins are over Modestas Bukauskas, Michael Olajasic, Sam Alvey, fucking 17 and 16 Sam Alvey, and
knocked him out though. He knocked him out though when Sam out. This was when he knocked him out. That was before he went on his whole thing.
Until that fight, round finish.
Explain to me how you think that resume means that Alonzo, he has a higher ceiling than Alonzo.
Is Alonzo Menifield not first round dependent knockout in this fight?
Shout out to Gordo Gamble.
He's going to win a decision over Jimmy. Is Alonzo Menifield winning a decision over Jimmy?
Well, no, you're talking about a hypothetical here. That's not it. We're talking about. I want to know why you think Jimmy Crute has a higher ceiling.
Because he can grapple. He can wrestle, grapple. He's 26. He's got a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's finished.
Yeah.
He's shown me.
There's 17 people that live in Australia, and he's got a black belt.
Hold on. Hold on. What would Jamal
one
Hill
at a time, guys?
What would Jamal Hill do to Menifield? What would Jamal Hill do to Menifield?
I mean, at this point, given the body of work,
Jamal was 37 when he knocked him out. Anthony Smith would work over Menifield's literally only got a right hand. Like, that's his whole game is like, let me hit you with this in the first round. So I think Crute's got the better ceiling because he's way more well-rounded. 26, too.
He's 26 on his second ACL. He's fringe top 15 for the rest of his career.
We'll see. That's debatable. Hey,
Crute's winning this. 185.
Everybody in the chat, take Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute's finishing this guy, man.
Cody, you want to put a gentleman's wager on this?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
What are we doing? What are we betting?
Do we? I like Johnny's devious.
I'm not putting anything on Jimmy Crute.
Do we want?
I'm telling you,
does this want to be monetary or humilatory, or how do you want this?
I would say shoey bet.
Shoey, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'll take a shoey bet. Let's do the shoey.
Cody, you're laying a shoey on Jimmy Crute.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. You guys are, dude, listen. I know MMA, and in my opinion, from what, dude, I thought, dude, Jimmy Crute's it can be a top 10 guy and even possibly a top 5 guy in his career. And Alonzo Menifield's never getting to that ever. And he won't sniff. I don't know. Is he in the top 15? I don't. And
he won't be in the top 15.
Do you guys see the last people he's beat? All right. So if you go look at Menifield's last 6, it's terrible. He was getting beat by Terry. He got too late. Like, what would Jimmy Crute do to that Askarov dude? Well, maybe not Misha, but now he would.
Listen, Askarov is a wash. We can't put that out there. And and what I appreciate about what Alonzo did out there is he beat him like he was a fraud. Like, he went out there and just justified what we were all thinking.
He grappled him though.
Right. Well, Dude, when you watch a thing about a troll go into a gym, what do? Right? Every time they go in, they just manhandle him. He did exactly what he was supposed to. You're not a real fighter. I'm gonna show you what a real fighter does. So anyway. So
Crute by finish. At the end of the day, Crute by finish.
Okay. So the gentleman's bet is finish or just money lines?
I mean, if this goes to decision, no, just if whoever wins, we'll just go by wins.
Violence.
And we're doing a shoey?
Yeah, we'll do a shoey. We'll do a shoey on a. There we go.
Look at that. We got a shoey bet. There we go.
Baby. He shaved the mullet off too, dude.
Save it.
Rid of that mullet. I like that.
On JohnnyKpicks YouTube channel, recorded.
You seen it here. This on my second shoey bet. Lou bet you did a shoey for me. Same type of fight. Same type.
Here we go.
Well,
the key for both.
Guess what, guys?
That escalated quickly.
My turn. Okay, let everyone talk.
Okay, we're sorry.
I'm going Menifield. First round knockout. I do not like Jimmy Crute's head movement. He gets hit too much, and Menifield has that power to knock him out. I'm sorry, it's going to happen. It is. Now, I'm not even going to break it down any more than this. That's what's going to happen.
Come out one punch.
Something switched in Menifield's brain and the Askarov fight. And I know he's a bum. And I'm going to piggyback off what Dale said. He made him look like he was a fraud. And I think that just like triggered something in his brain. Like he knows what he needs to do. He did not look like that at all in any of his fights before that until that fight. And then what happened in his next fight? No, but look what happened in his next fight. He went out there and made him look like he wasn't supposed to be in the UFC again. If he does the same thing again,
fight losing streak, he shouldn't have been.
Who cares? It's I'm saying he's keeping the same game plan. If he does the same game plan to Jimmy Crute, he's gonna knock him out.
In a way.
Yes, he is.
I love it. I'm so in discourse.
If he doesn't, though, he's gonna lose. You're right.
Right.
But Menifield needs to keep that same game plan he did the last two fights, even though they were against bums. And I'm not saying Crute's a bum, but he's got zero chin and zero head movement. It's a big ass target too. He's got a big ass head.
He's only been knocked out one time, and that was
Menifield's a guy that can get knocked out.
He's not. That's the only fight I've ever seen Jimmy Crute hurt in my life was Jamal Hill, and he caught him right off the bat. Like the Anthony Smith thing. He was winning that fight until he got kicked. But
his head, he was getting like rock'em sock'em'd in that fight with his jab.
With Smith. He was dude. He was beating Smith. He was landing.
I'm not saying Smith was like rocking him, but he was.
Cody, I agree.
Go to the next
one. Go crazy. All right, sorry
Cody,
guys.
Me and you, we agree.
My man,
Dale.
We're both on the upstream.
First round now.
That's what tomorrow. This is made for. We both agree on this side of the screen. They both agree on the left side of the screen.
Can we just go to the next?
Please go to the next.
Let's go to the next fight.
Oh God, it's going to get even better on this one. It's probably going to get even better on this fight.
This is why this is a show right here.
Justin Tafa versus Parker Porter. You know what, guys? I'm going to go first this time.
It's about to get worse.
I'm going to go Porter here. I think he's the better, well-rounded fighter. I think
it's going to be a good one.
I know. Dale's already not going to be on my side. It's totally cool. I think he's the more well-rounded fighter. He might not have more power than Tafa, probably not. But man, Tafa just wants to stand in the middle of the ring or octagon and just bang it out. He doesn't want to do anything else. He has zero movement. He's super slow. He's super powerful, but he's super slow. Parker, I know that he doesn't look like he's fast, but he's quicker than Tafa. He can get him up against the cage, maybe hold him up there. I just think Tapa's first round or bust. I think personally, I think Porter's going to be able. I say this every time. Porter's going to be able to win this one by decision. I think Johnny. So. I think he's the better overall fighter. Dale, I saw your hands go up.
He got Tafa.
As a rule of thumb, if you have to say maybe in your breakdown, you probably shouldn't bet
what did I say maybe about?
You said maybe. You said Porter should be able to get him up against the cage. Maybe. He should be faster than him.
Well, he doesn't have to, but maybe.
Right. If you have to say maybe in your breakdown, you should approach things on what's most likely to happen as opposed to what could happen. Now, what is most likely to happen is Justin Tafa goes out there and hits him with one of them Samoan hammers in the first 30 seconds and puts him to sleep. That's the most likely thing to happen. Now, that being said, if he can't do that, he's got one round to get it done. If he can't, Parker Porter pulls away. Parker's going to put that big, giant custom jean wearing ass, push him up against the cage, drag him down, and drown him. You're going to see a guy drown with no water for 3 rounds. Porter by decision, which is weird to say in a heavyweight fight, seems very, very likely here. I'm on Tafa in the sense that I don't know, man. I think he's going to come out and take like a Mark Hunt, Sal Polele style approach where he's just going to come out and swing as hard as he possibly can. And because Parker Porter can be hit, it's not like he's got amazing head movement. He can be hit. I think if Tafa can put one of those lunch boxes on him, he gets him out of there. But it is a very like it's one of those things where if you look at it and you feel it, bet it. Full disclosure, I have no play on this fight because they're both so low level. I can't depend on either of them to do what they're supposed to do, which in turn would translate to be the most likely thing to happen. I really think we see either a very ugly Porter decision or a round 1 Tafa knockout. I won't count on either one of these guys to do it. The only thing, that's close to the skill level of being bad as far as women's MMA is men's heavyweight. A lot of them just really suck, and this is not any different. So this is a no play for me. Admittedly, I have no action on this fight whatsoever. Tafa round 1 by lunchbox beating or Parker Porter by decision. So
maybe a first round knockout, right?
Parker Porter first round knockout?
No, Tafa, maybe.
Oh, Tafa, maybe first round. Maybe. Yeah,
okay,
maybe.
Thank you.
Emphasis on the maybe.
Thank you. Cody, who do you like?
I mean, name that comes to mind is Jared Vanderaa. You know what I mean?
I forgot my nugget of the week.
Yeah, I mean, let's just bring up that he's 1-6 in the UFC. That one win was over Justin Tafa, Justin Tafa. Justin Tafa, another Menifield. Another Menifield, not even near as dangerous as Menifield. You know what I mean? Tafa really don't throw like heat, one shot, kill you, knock out dead. I've seen him get knocked out dead, but he throws some good shots. He got some good kicks, good leg kicks and body kicks, but he slows down after 1 round too, man. And he can be pushed up against the cage. Like Vanderaa was beating him with volume. That's how Vanderaa got him. Parker Porter, I mean, it's not like he has the worst boxing or defense. He rolls with a lot of punches. Like he'll put his head down. He's got a big old head and he bounces them off the shoulder. I was watching him do it with Parisian. If you watch him fight Josh Parisian, Parisian threw volume at him and Parker Porter's dodging him and just hitting him with a little bit of volume. That was a decent fight. But I got to like I don't think Tafa gets him out of there in the first round. Tafa's been to decision with Felipe, Vanderaa. I think he knocked out Harry Hunsucker and freaking Juan Adams are 2 people that should never even be close to the UFC. I just think that freaking Porter's the more well-rounded guy. I bet him at plus 120. And I think that he can survive the first round. And I think that he can go with volume, and the second round start taking over, get some time up against Cage. And God forbid he ever gets this fight to the ground one time and gets on top of Tafa. Because if you go watch Tafa's not amateur, but regional stuff, he's gotten taken down before. He's a kickboxer. And if big old Parker Porter, I almost said the other word, gets on top of him, dude,
it could be over.
Yeah, it could be over, especially if he gets on top of a tired Justin Tafa. I wanted to bet the over on this, but that's what it was more than seeing Justin Tafa just knock Parker Porter out because Parker Porter's tough. Like he's durable. He got knocked out by Chris Dawkins. He took a big shot, came in on short notice. But other than that, before like I said, we're going to wash off the Jailton Almeida fight. That was a short notice, ridiculous fight. You know what I mean? But before that, he was like, won 6 out of his last 7 fights. Justin Tafa's 5-3, dude. And his losses, Jorgen De Castro knocked him out cold. Jared Vanderaa beat him. Like these aren't really good losses. So give me Parker Porter being the more well-rounded guy with the better gas tank. And his striking ain't that bad. It's not like he's like dependent on getting the takedown or he loses. His striking, he's going to have more volume. Justin Tafa's not bad, but I like Porter here, especially. I mean, this should be like a pick 'em. I got him at plus 120, and I think that he's a little bit more well-rounded and has more ways to win this fight. So give me Porter plus 120.
Right on. Brandon, I would love to know who you have in this one.
Yeah, so Johnny, I actually don't have a bet on this fight, which is pretty shocking because I'm a huge.
I am shocked, actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, like as Cody said, like Vanderaa 1-6 in the UFC. But the one thing about Vanderaa is that at the heavyweight weight class, he was ranked 3rd in most attempted leg kicks in the division, and Justin Tafa is a straight boxer. So that's what Vanderaa's game plan was going to be. But like, even if you watch Tafa in the late rounds, he was landing like late counter strikes. In the 3rd round, he was landing, and he was kind of still tired. Like the guy knocked out Harry Hunsucker. Like, it's a Harry Hunsucker fight. Like, the guy's kill or be killed within the first round.
He's killed. But, he's just killed.
Harry Hunsucker, man. Thank God we don't have to see him anymore. But, like, this fight in general, like, I get to pay $80 to watch this on a main card. I'm going to get obliterated before it, so I'm going to pay $80, obviously, for it. But, like, even, like, if you guys have Parker Porter, if you guys got him at good plus money price, I love it. If the guy gets to fight to the ground, he has a huge ground game advantage. BJJ black belt, Justin Tafa, straight boxer, but like Carlos Felipe doesn't attempt takedowns. Harry Hunsucker isn't going to attempt any takedowns. Like, if Parker Porter really grinds this fight, he's extremely durable. Like, the decision only on Parker Porter
plus 350.
Like, decision only?
What's the plus? You mean just decision? Decision only. It's probably like minus 150 or so.
I don't hate that. I honestly might get to it if it's within like lower than minus 140 because like if Tafa is to win a decision, he's going to outland him with volume. But I don't think Justin Tafa like honestly has 15 minutes of cardio to throw technical. But if Justin Tafa is going to get the finish, I think it's within the under 1.5. But I think Parker Porter could grind this fight out. If he gets this fight to the ground, he has a huge ground game advantage. So give me the plus money on Parker Porter, but I would not take the fight doesn't go in minus 200. I would honestly lay off this fight and wait till the last 3 fights of the night.
Right on. Forgot to mention, I do have a bet on this fight too. It's plus 120 for Porter. So.
Yeah, man.
No, that's a great line because I don't understand how Justin Tafa should be minus.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not saying I don't think Porter's going to go in there and just knock him out in the first round. I do think he has to grind this one out and get this fight later in the fight to win this fight. Either maybe a late finish or a decision. I don't think he's going to go in there and knock him out in the first round. There's no way. But I do think Tafa's really one round dependent here, and if he doesn't get it out in the first round, I just don't see him winning this fight.
I like it,
but. That went a little bit smoother than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I can't even believe it's on the main card, especially.
I'm saving myself up real quick, Brandon. Let's get you a stream. Stop paying $80 a card, and then let's make that happen. Like,
hey, me and all my friends split it, so we don't mind splitting the 15 a piece of cards. So we don't mind, man. We work for weekends like this, Dale. We bust our ass Monday through Friday to deserve like good quality UFC pay-per-view on the screen, no lagging, like conditioning bullshit. I don't mean to curse, but I like to get that good quality. So if we all split it, it's not a bad deal.
Dale told a man to suck his genitals earlier.
Yeah, I literally said I was going to pull out on YouTube. So
you cuss a little bit.
I understand that, and I completely
personally offended.
Yeah.
But let's take a utilitarian approach to it and have more good as opposed to concentrated good. If I can save you and all your friends $15 a piece, that's more good than saving you just $80. So after this, I'll shoot you a high quality 4K HD link that works flawlessly every time. Okay.
Okay. All right. That I will take for offer. That I didn't know you had.
You twisted his arm. I
got you.
You got me.
I got you. As long as you can project onto your TV, we're good to go. Okay. I got you.
Oh yeah, we'll be good.
There we go.
This is not the streamer that Dana White got.
We
fucking got him.
Right.
Got him. What a little troll, little fucking gremlin. We got him.
Power slap.
That stuff's crazy, dude. I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen the thing. You know what I mean? Little reels. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, guys. Randy Brown versus Jack Della Maddalena. Brandon, start this one off. I know you're excited for this one.
Yeah. So, guys, I took the shot on Randy Brown. 0.31 units at plus 265. Like, Randy Brown has been boxing since he's 15 years old. Very young since he started boxing. Jack Della Maddalena doesn't throw a lot of leg kicks. Pete Rodriguez, right? 4-0 on MMA professional record. Likes to stand at close range. Doesn't have a high guard. Eats punches with his face. Then Timur Valiev, who is a straight wrestler, who isn't high volume on the feet at all. He gets in a bad position with him in the first minute and a half of the fight. And if you're ducking your head in Randy Brown's guard, like Randy Brown has the long arms, long legs in order to pull himself, in order to get his arms around the neck. And I really like what Randy Brown has brought from the feet. Like, if you guys watch Randy Brown fight, how is he losing? It's the leg kicks. Jack Della Molina is a straight boxer. He does not throw leg kicks. Randy Brown against Chaos Williams. Yes, he got hurt a lot. Chaos Williams way more powerful than Jack Della Molina. Jack Della Molina more technical on the feet. He likes to throw in high volume strikes. He likes to go to the body and mix high to the head. I really like what Randy Brown brings to the table. He can bring in the takedowns and mix. He has great head movement. And Jack Della Molina hasn't dealt with a reach advantage. Like, his last fight was against Danny Roberts. Danny Roberts is not a good UFC fighter in my mind. So, like, you're getting Randy Brown at plus 265, right? Guy's on a 4-fight win streak. And I think, honestly, I think Randy Brown is one of the best underdogs on this card. I think everyone's parlaying Jack Della Molina like he's a lock. He's going to knock him out in the first round. But, if Randy Brown can get this fight to the ground, he has a great advantage there. If he has distance, he has a great reach to throw the counter right. So I think Randy Brown at this price is just undeniably stupid. So I took the shot at plus 265.
I don't blame anybody for taking a shot here. Cody, what do you think?
Yeah, man. Dude, Jack Della looks like the real deal. Boxing combinations, body shots are phenomenal. He switches stances. He can box out of either stance. Seems to have good grappling. I think he has good enough takedown defense to keep this standing. Randy Brown has really good jiu-jitsu, but his wrestling's not all that great. It's not, he's not going out there and wrestling anybody really, but he does have good jiu-jitsu if he's taken down. I like his boxing. Randy Brown, though, the line is disrespectful because Randy Brown's not a bad fighter at all. You just seen he did, like Brandon was saying, you just seen he fought a guy just like Jack Della in Chaos. Now, Chaos ain't as active. He doesn't work the body. He doesn't switch stances and stuff like that. But he showed he can take some power shots in that fight. Mm-hmm. He's got good teep kicks. He uses his front kicks like a jab, long punches. He just doesn't really have the power. I don't know. He hurt Chaos at the end of that third round. That's how he ended up getting that split decision. But I don't know if he's going to have the power to keep Jack Della off it, man. And if Jack Della just keeps backing him up against the cage, he's going to be working the body, going from the body to the head. And Randy Brown's got a skinny body and a little chin. So it's kind of almost like even, I don't know. We got to see if Jack Della's as good as Vicente Luque in the striking, but it's like with them guys, man. Them guys they hit Randy Brown too hard. Especially like Brandon said with the leg kicks, but Jack Della ain't going to do that. But they hit him harder than he can hit back. It doesn't seem like he can get too much respect from them on the feet. And if he can't get this takedown here, then Jack Della, I think, is going to finish him. But the line is disrespectful because Randy Brown's not bad, man. 16-4. So give me Jack Della. I'm going to say that he gets that second or early third round finish. I'm going to say that he finds that body shot, that liver shot, or, just accumulation of damage gets him out of there. I don't know if he'll get it done in the first round or not, but I'm going to take Jack Della. I'm going to take him by KO. He's not subbing Randy Brown. So if you're going to bet Jack Della, you might as well just probably bet him by KO. But I guess he could win a decision. Randy Brown's been in there and experienced and knows how to survive. He's been in there with the best of them. So but give me Jack Della, second, early third round finish.
Okay. Dale, what do you like?
Whoosh. Cracking a beer for this one.
He goes, he got Randy Brown, first round knockout.
Come on, Dale.
First round submission.
Come on, Dale.
This is my third beaver canoe. I'm just
there we go. There now it's going to get interesting.
Shout out Oak Road Brewery. I love these guys. Anyway, make no mistake about it. Randy Brown is Jack Della's toughest test to date. Randy Brown has every tool necessary to win this fight. He really does. If he can fight smart for 15 minutes, he has to, lack of a better way to put it, Randy Brown has to fight his best fight tomorrow in order to beat Jack Della. Is he capable of that becomes the question. But he has every skill that he needs to. One of the things that make me nervous about the Randy Brown side is that Randy Brown, for most of his career, has been the longer and taller fighter against everybody he's gone against. And as such, he has James Vick syndrome. He fights like a tall guy. He relies on the jab a lot, and he exits exchanges with his chin held high. You can't do that with a guy that's as pinpoint accurate as Jack Della Maddalena. You can't do it. Otherwise, you'll get knocked unconscious. That said, if the jab's effective and he's beaten up that nose, I hate to tell you this, but Jack Della's nose didn't get like that because he doesn't like to get hit. He gets hit. That's how the nose gets like that. If he can live behind the jab and the jab finds success, Jack's going to have a tough night ahead of him. He's really going to have to work through it, a la a Drew Dober versus Bobby Green, right? It's the same thing. You've got a guy with crisper, more technical striking versus a guy that's a little bit more unorthodox, loves the jab, hits you with different angles, wants to try to bait you to see what you can do, try to get you to bite on the feints, and then he's going to come at you. If Randy Brown fights a good fight, a smart fight, a cerebral fight, he can beat Jack Della Maddalena. What's interesting to me, even though he beat Ramazan Emeev, is the position that Emeev got Jack Della in. He got him in a bad spot. Randy Brown gets him in that same spot, and he taps him. Randy Brown, by submission at the beginning of the week, was plus 114. It is currently available at plus 1100. The line is going down. People see the value in the action. And this is Propaholic's thing. I'm not going to go into where he lives, but if I can sit on your porch instead of going into your house, I'm going to say that Randy Brown has an idea in his head on where he could possibly win this fight. And it's by decision. It's by submission. I don't think it's by knockout. All the makings, though, are there stylistically for Jack Della Maddalena to win this fight. And in doing so, if he can do so in emphatic fashion, it makes him a star. It makes him a superstar regionally, right? Now, you get him, bring him back over stateside. You give him a pay-per-view in Orlando. You give him a pay-per-view in LA. You give him a pay-per-view somewhere in, even at T-Mobile, and you give him against quality competition, somebody that's really going to engage him, like a Vicente Luque, and he gets a highlight win there. He becomes the solidified number 3 guy coming out of Oceania area, right? But he's got to do so by beating Randy Brown and doing so in emphatic and highlight reel fashion. Randy will present that to him by exiting every exchange with his chin pointed towards the sky. He will.
He really does that.
Jack Della by KO or Randy Brown by submission, just 2 props, make them both palatable. And then if you want to go back to what I said earlier, the Jack and Jack parlay, Jack Jenkins and Jack Della Maddalena, minus 180 for both of those guys. That's a play for me. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I want to shout out someone on Twitter. If you guys don't follow MMA at _jackets on Twitter, he gave out the prop submission only on DraftKings. I'm pretty sure that opened around plus 200 and everyone slammed the prop. And I'm pretty tight because I was working at the moment. I'm digging all day at work and I don't get the submission only prop, but shout out to him for getting everyone else at that bet because it got taken down. And it's actually currently on DraftKings at minus 140. So congrats to him for getting out everyone that prop because Jack Della Maddalena is not submitting the BJJ black belt in Randy Brown with that long reach and those long legs. So I wanted to shout out him on that prop because that was a great look off rip. And I saw people slamming that prop. So congratulations to anyone that got submission only.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's Randy Brown's path to victory.
It is. And congrats to anyone that got it because that's a sick line over plus 200.
Yeah. I like Jack here too. I'm very high on him. His boxing is just ridiculously good. It feels like, or it looks like he throws 75% power and he lands with 150% power. It's insane. He's super smooth, super quick, straight, right down the middle. Good body shots too. But Randy Brown, he's gonna be the biggest test, like Dale said, and that's what scares me from even just doing a money line bet on Jack because I don't know. I know he's the real deal. That's the thing, but I don't know if this is a step up too quick. Maybe Randy Brown does have the best fight of his career. This is gonna have to do it though.
Will. I'm glad.
You never know. It's so weird to me, but in the line, I think should be a little bit closer. It's a little wide money line. So this is one of the ones, Dale, that I tweeted you. I'm my heart and my brain are fighting. I'm I really want to put Jack in a money line parlay, but I'm just not 100% sold. I have to be pretty sold. I'm maybe
because he should
8%.
He should be minus 170 here.
Right. Yeah, or even 200. I would totally jump on that.
Randy Brown is a legitimate UFC fight.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to see it.
Like
You
crazy.
can see it.
But Jack Della has shown, dude, that this kid
Cody,
could be
but
the
like,
real
if
deal.
I take Randy Brown at plus 265 and he gets knocked down in the first round, like, to me, I think it's still a good bet for 0.31.
Well, yeah. Matter of fact, maybe they are right, because if you give me Jack Della at minus 170, I'm going to bet the shit out of it. So they probably know that.
100%.
100%. I just, man. Yeah. But I don't see Randy Brown finishing Jack. Jack's so tough, and I think that's his only. Like
the only thing would be the Amiv fight.
That front choke he had Amiv in, dude, or Amiv had him in was
pretty good.
Isn't even a submission grappler. He's a control grappler too. And Randy Brown
good
has
cardio,
long ass arms, man. As Dale was saying, so
JDM.
I think one of the things you need to look at, if we're gonna dip into MMA math here for a second, if we can do that, I think that Jack's toughest test to date was on Lusa. I think Lusa was his toughest test. Forget Amiv almost subbing him.
Yes.
Forget Pete Rodriguez. Forget Danny Roberts. I think on Lusa was his toughest test to date.
By far.
And if you look at the skill set of Randy Brown versus on Lusa, I know we can talk about Randy Brown being a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but let's not kid ourselves here. There are levels to black belts in jiu-jitsu, right? There are levels to it. And you can say Randy's a black belt. Okay, but I'm going to discount that at the sense that I feel like Randy Brown is like a 4-inch taller version of Ong Lusa. And Lusa took Madalena to decision. So it to me, MMA math, which I know most people are like, that's bullshit. It says that Randy is going to be competitive in this fight. I don't think this is a steamroll like we saw in the Pete Rodriguez fight. I really don't, man. I think that Jack's going to have his hands full. He's going to have to earn this victory, and
especially
if it comes
in the big cage,
especially in the big cage,
Randy moves, man. He's not going to stand there and just let you punch his head off. But it's like you said, you throw long enough combos, dude, he's moving with his hands back.
Yeah.
Or a chin
Johnny brings up a good point here too. This is kind of a step up for Randy too. If you look at his last few wins, I mean, it's Trinaldo, Chaos Williams, Jared Gooden, and Alex.
Jack Della and Trinaldo.
On like a pressure wise and like a high volume wise, like Donnie, I like what you're saying, but like not on.
I would say Jack can beat all those guys.
It's that switching stances, dude, and Jack keeping the power in it, dude. His left hand, when he goes into southpaw, dude, he's throwing bombs with that left hand. Who did he fight? It was either Pete Rodriguez or Danny Roberts. I think it was Pete Rodriguez. Somebody. He came out in regular stance, and he got leg kicked into the left hand stance in the southpaw, and he just stayed there and beat the shit out of the dude in that stance. Like he came out the other stance, and bro, just gave him a case of the beats, man. So he's
I think it's a very tough fight. It's not a steamroll for Jack by any means.
Yeah.
The line is
units, guys. Don't overexpose.
It's not going to be like what Jimmy Crute's going to do to Menifield.
Jimmy
Crute. Shit. Poking the bear.
No, you might not be doing a shoey because I kind of maybe agree with you on this one.
Man. Yeah, here's the thing is I think the line's wrong here. And if you're a value guy, Randy Brown is your play here. 100%. If you're a value,
I just hate it. Because it's like I hate putting money on a value and being like, but I think they're
because
but
I don't do that.
It's like the casino wants you to do that. They want you to go, well, fuck, man, this dude has
the value's there. The value, because the value always usually loses.
They really want you to do, but that one time.
Casinos love us all, man. They love us.
They don't like me.
Yep.
Motherfuckers don't give me nothing for free.
No, they love us giving that money, man.
Shit, I'll take theirs.
All right. Co-main event, guys. Let's get to this one. Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett. Let's go with Cody. Who do you like and why?
Yeah, man. I'm super high on Yair in this fight. I like his speed. I like his power. I like his movement. I like what he did to Jeremy Stevens, who fights the exact same way as Josh Emmett. And this was when Jeremy Stevens wasn't washed like he is now. I like his body kicks and I like his leg kicks. I like what he was doing to Max Holloway. I think that he can land power leg kicks here, power body kicks, but Josh Emmett ain't switching stances like Holloway could. I don't think Josh Emmett wrestles. I mean, he hasn't used that game plan his whole career except against Scott Holtzman 8 years ago. So like, why not? Why would you switch up what got you to the championship? You know what I mean? And go, all right, this time, this fight, even though I've got here by knocking people dead and having good boxing, I'm going to start wrestling. And then all of a sudden you're a little tired or anything's weird. I don't see him. Maybe he tries to, you know, steal a round or two with it. I don't know. But I see this as a striking match, man. And Josh Emmett, he's good when he's fighting Calvin Kattar, when he's fighting who did he fight right before that? Danny Ige, people that don't move much. They'll stand in the pocket with you and just bang, right? But if you go watch him fight Michael Johnson, who actually moves around, I think maybe Josh Emmett landed 14 shots before he finally knocked him out in the third round. And that was just because Michael Johnson has the same IQ with Jimmy Crute at times. You know what I mean? They just give the fight up for no reason. But I really think that Yair, like I like how he counters big shots over the top with body kicks, power body kicks. Then he throws, what I really like is he'll throw a quick shot to the body and then punch the face right afterwards. Like he's so fast and his striking so different. He's got the crazy elbows. He hit Max with that up elbow, dude. But Max is Max Holloway with that giant head, tough as they come. So it didn't knock him out, but he's so dangerous everywhere. Josh Emmett's 38 years old. He's coming with that right hand. You know what I mean? And that's what he's going to do. And he's really good at what he does with that. But like I said, that's when people stand there and play the boxing game with him. Yair ain't going to do that. Yair's going to be moving, countering. Every time he throws this big shot, Yair's out the way, countering, cracking. 30 years old. Yair's bigger. You know, he's 5 inches taller, only 1 inch of reach, but he's got way longer legs, you know, and he uses his legs. And that matters a lot when you're talking about kicking a guy that's 5'6". I love Yair here, man. I love everything about Yair here. I think Josh Emmett is one of the easier top 10 matchups for Yair too, because all you're worrying about is striking. Like say you even would fight back and you would fight Topuria or Ivalev or any of them guys. They're presenting other grappling, like more grapple heavy jiu-jitsu type things. That's another thing. If Josh Emmett takes Yair down, dude, Yair's jiu-jitsu is good. Like you seen what he did with Brian Ortega. Like they can say Ortega's arm popped out this or that, but he was in a freaking submission 1 second before that, you know, trying to pop out the submission. So I don't know, man. I like Yair everywhere here. Like I said, Josh Emmett's getting a little older. He's been a decision his last 3 fights. He's not knocking guys dead like he was when he was 34 years old. Yeah, man. It's just Yair is just so much more explosive, so many more tools, younger, power. I love it. I love the kick. So I think that if you watch the Jeremy Stephens fight where Yair was countering them big shots with powerful body kicks, he hurt Jeremy Stephens so bad in the second round. He had him finished almost 3 times, and then the ref let it go. And then he gassed out a little bit in the third round because he tried to kill him. But dude, I got Yair a second or third round body kick knockout. I got the finish here, baby. I got the finish.
Dale, who do you like?
Oh, I get to come in here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay. No, I again, I'm not trying to pick. The body kick thing, though, Cody, is more Jeremy Stephens is you see him get hurt to the body as much as Cowboy gets hurt to the body or got hurt to the body. Both of those guys stand so planed that the body's always open, right? So I push back on that ever so slightly. That's the only pushback I have on your breakdown. Everything is that I don't love the body part of it based on the fact of Jeremy Stephens being the catalyst there, because Jeremy Stephens is always hurt to the body.
Well, him and Aldo, right. But Aldo, beast with that body work.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, full disclosure here, Josh is a friend of my show.
I like Josh Emmett too.
Yeah. So I have a, like Johnny was alluding to earlier, I made a tweet and I said, this weekend is a conflict of interest. It's between heart money and smart money. Smart money is on Yair. He's younger. He's faster. He has a higher ceiling. The heart money is on Josh Emmett. He's 38 years old. If he does not win this fight, he will never get another title shot again. Right. This is literally the culmination of his dream of becoming a mixed martial artist. It's a guy who wrestled early in life, took a career outside of combat sports, and then decided, I need to give this a go or I can't live with myself. And then did that, and then has somehow reached the pinnacle of the sport that he thought he was going to try as a hobby. Right. This is where he's at now, right? And at 38 years old, this is it for him. We almost have a situation where it's like a, I don't want to say it's like a Matt Serra win the belt and then defend it once and retire kind of deal. It's not like that, but we do have ourselves in like a Jan Blachowicz kind of thing, where you beat everybody in contention coming up, you may actually win the belt. But then once the younger guys get to the point where they're going to start challenging you, it's just not, it's not sustainable, right? It's going to take over at a certain point. That could be what happens here. I'm on Yair. Full disclosure, I'll bury the lead. I'm on Yair here, money line -170. I like that. I'm in it for 2 units just because I want to win my money back. That it's a very small play,
right?
But I think you can't discount Josh Emmett. I know it's the one right hand. What's interesting to me is that we have the rumors of the injury. I've heard everything from the shoulder to the hip to this, that, and the other. Josh Emmett's been on the island for a couple weeks now. We don't have to worry about anything. The weight cut looked rough. It always looks rough. He's fucking big.
Right. He's a big dude.
At 5'6", he's a big featherweight.
I sat down. I talked with Josh right after the Shane Burgos fight when he blew his knee out. And most of our conversation revolved around his mindset and his ability to go to a dark place and say, Shane Burgos is going to have to fucking kill me in here. I'm not going to quit this fight. Now, he fought like that. It's one thing to say it, right? But he fought like that. And then he said, I'm going to be the first person to come back from this level of injury and win a championship. He said that to me. So then I talked to Heather Linden, who's the head of PT at the UFC PI. And I said, Heather, is he really this crazy about it? And she said, yes, he's nuts. He's in here all the time. We're afraid he's going to hurt it again because he's so crazy about coming back. So the work ethic of Josh Emmett is not in question. He will be prepared for this fight. I just wonder if we've reached the point where it should have been here 3 years ago, right? Like Cody said, if we were here at 34, if we were here at 35, he fought Calvin Kattar, and I thought Calvin won that fight. And Calvin's a friend of my show as well. Friend versus friend. I thought Calvin won that fight. I don't necessarily think that Josh won that. I think this is too little, too late for Josh. I think he's going to be a half step behind. I don't necessarily agree that he's going to get finished. One of the things that makes me nervous is that neither one of these guys with their recent wars wear damage very well. Both of them, as soon as they get touched, everything starts leaking, swelling, everything in between. We might see a situation where Emmett or Rodriguez, we have an unfortunate situation like we saw with Moreno and Figueiredo, where an eye gets swollen shut, an eyebrow gets split, and we get a stoppage that we may necessarily feel is incomplete, right? I'm on Yair here based on youth, speed, and ceiling. My heart says Emmett because I love him as a person and as a friend, but the smart money is on Yair. So I'm on Yair, 2 units at -170.
Right on. Brandon, who you like?
Yeah, so I actually played Josh Emmett inside the distance at +380 on DraftKings on Wednesday for 0.40 units to win 1.5. So, like, Yair Rodriguez, right? Like, we saw Max Holloway hit him up in the 2nd, 3rd round, 4th round. Max was able to get him down, right? Let's say Josh Emmett is able to land the same strikes that Max Holloway is going to land within those rounds. Like, how is Yair Rodriguez going to react to those strikes? When we watch Yair Rodriguez in these 5-round fights, right, what do we see, guys? Like, he lacks defensive striking. Like, his hands are down. He relies on his head movement. And when you're relying on head movement against Josh Emmett in a 25-minute fight, what is most likely going to happen to you when it's +380 to win inside the distance and the guy's +150? Like, the guy is going to try to knock your head off. Josh Emmett is one of the most powerful strikers in the 145 division. Volkanovski, obviously, in my mind, is more powerful than Emmett on a technical-wise situation. But Josh Emmett, like, if he lands one shot to the chin of Yair Rodriguez, like, I don't know how he's going to react. Like, Yair Rodriguez hasn't faced, like, powerful strikers in my mind. He's faced more, like, technical strikers on a technical base. But Josh Emmett, if he can get this fight to the ground, mix it up, tire him out within the first 3 rounds, and can land elbows in top mount, and even if Rodriguez gets up late in the fight, like, Emmett's going to swing for the finish. He's 38 years old. Like, what does the guy have to lose in this spot in Australia? Like, I think he can get the finish at +380 here, so I took the shot in to win 1.5 units here. The line is +350 now on DraftKings, so I don't hate him inside the distance.
Right on.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's a good line. Plus 380.
Yeah.
Ain't bad.
Yeah, I took my little shot on it. It's just like, I think Yair can win this fight, but like, if Yair wins Cody, as you said, like inside the distance, it's via body shot. So like, I like the fight doesn't go plus 120, but like, I don't think Yair knocks him out via head kick. I don't think he knocks him out via high volume with like boxing. I think it's a body kick. So I took Emmett inside a distance with this power right hand.
Yeah. I kind of went back and forth a little bit on this one, but as the week went on, I felt more comfortable with Yair here. I just think his striking is a little bit more diverse. Emmett's just more boxing. He's going to come forward. He's going to want to land that one right shot to knock you out. He does. I mean, he's going to land the more powerful strikes, maybe, but Yair can land those sneaky elbows, those sneaky spinning, kicks, high kicks, whatever you want to say. Like, it's going to be a really good fight. Both guys are very durable. They do wear, like Dale said, they both wear their damage very well or easily on their face when they get strikes. So I think this goes to decision. I think it's going to be fairly close, though, because just like in Emmett's fight with Cater, it was a close decision. I did think Cater won, though, but it wasn't a robbery. But if you're going to go volume over power again, I mean, it's set up for the same way right here, I think. So it could be a close decision. I'm going to go Yair by decision. I don't know if I'm confident enough to bet it, though. That's the thing. Even though all signs point to Yair, like everything. But it's just something in me. It's like, don't do it, John. Just don't stay back.
Let me pose this question to you three guys and answer how you see fit here. Is there any other fight on the card outside of Loma and Elise Reed that you feel is more likely to end by majority or split decision than this one? Because you can get majority/split decision plays for plus 550 to plus 650 right now. This I know, Cody, you said body kick round 2, but I mean, realistically, given the penchant and the history of Josh Emmett.
So realistically, I like what you think, but
I'm just saying Josh Emmett's ability to suffer well and go 5 rounds. Josh Emmett fights in a way that scores well with the judges, right? Every time Josh Emmett wins a majority or split decision, we all mostly agree that he lost the fight. But he fights in a way that the judges go, oh, did Josh win that round? Maybe I'll give him that 10. He fights that way, right? So this fight is available at majority and split decision at plus 550 to plus 650 on most books.
That's a great look. If it goes to the decision.
So why not, right? Like, this seems like the most likely fight that we're going to see.
Especially where one guy could win 3 rounds and but the other guy lands a knockdown in one of the other rounds.
As you said, Josh is going to land the more powerful strikes, and he walks forward, and like Yair's going to land more volume. So that's a great look.
It's set up like just like Cater versus Emmett, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're the same fighters, but volume over damage, and I think this goes to decision. It's just so close to me, but I all signs point to Yair. Like, he should win this fight on paper.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Take the signs, Johnny.
But I mean, think about this. Think about
I'm not betting this fight. Unless I do the split.
Think about Yair. Think about Yair versus Korean Zombie, right? Minus that last second knockout, we're going to the judges' scorecard, and it's anyone's fight. Yeah. It really is. Depending on what each, if fucking Adelaide Bird is sitting there, who knows what she's picking, right? She has no idea what she's looking at.
Probably flew Diamato, her, and Carthridge or whatever his name is.
That's what I'm saying. So
Carthridge.
You have no idea what's coming up, right? So in this instance, both of these guys, around 5 looks like Yair Rodriguez's left eyebrow split open, Josh Emmett's right eye completely swollen shut, leaking, body swollen red. Yair is limping because he's thrown so many kicks that have been checked at that point. So you've got a limp and a split eyebrow versus a swollen red body and a swollen right eye. How are you scoring this? Plus 550? If you're going to throw a half or a quarter unit on something, you could spend it worse places than here.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, if I have a little bit of money in my account at the time, I'm just going to throw a little bit on there. I'll be honest, because I really think this goes to decision.
No,
and there's always it just needs to take that one crazy judge.
It's so weird.
We've seen these judges 30-27 on one side and then 2 29-28s for the exact opposite fighter.
It's like, so weird though that this is like a for sure like a decision thing, because both these dudes are like some of the most dangerous guys in the division.
They're both very durable though too.
Yeah.
There
was a time.
I'm not saying it can't happen though.
There was a time when I thought Yair was not durable. Right? If you watch the Frankie Edgar fight, you thought Yair
when his eyes swelled up.
That boy got a lot of quit in him.
Yeah.
But then the Max Holloway fight, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. My man got some dog now. But for a while, you were like, nah, this dude got some quit. Korean Zombie, Max Holloway, they took him to a dark place, and he realized, right? Like anybody that's gone to a gym before, the first thing you learn at a gym is you ain't made of glass, right? You're not this fragile fucking flower that God's been protecting this whole time. You're built for war. Some of us are built better than others, but you're built for it. This is what you were designed to do. Run, hunt, throw rocks and shit. This is what you were built for. So you go in there and you get your nose busted up, you get your lip fat, and you're like, okay, I'm alive still. Yeah. Frankie Edgar proved that for Yair, and he came back and started fighting like it. So my man got some dog in him. He finally tapped into that Mexican spirit that everybody's been talking about for a long time, and he's fighting Mexican now. So, I mean, it's going to be there. The durability is there, bro.
It's going to be such a good fight. This probably could be the best fight on the card. Yeah,
great matchmaking here.
Both dogs, both explosive, tough as hell, and both great guys too. I like both these dudes.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yep. All right, let's go to the main one.
My boy, Chef Mikey in the building. What's up, Chef Mikey? Appreciate you coming out.
Yep.
Chef Mikey and the Mushroom will get along good, man. I guarantee it.
Mushroom said Yair, but inside the distance.
I like that.
Let's see what we got. Yair, rounds 4 or 5 or decision combo prop. That'd be a decent one to do.
Yeah, that's not bad, Barca. I like that.
Let's see.
Barca.
I got Yair front kick to the face. I mean, he is short. He's gonna have a 5-inch reach advantage. So
like your style, Justin.
Or 4.
I've seen him eat a front kick to the face by either Cater, Michael Johnson, or one of them right off the bat too. Josh Emmett.
Yeah, that's 550.
Do you guys follow Nichols, by the way? Just real quick.
Yeah. On Instagram. Is he on Twitter too?
Yeah, he's a ghost.
I got him on Twitter too.
He's a ghost, but he's super sharp. Like there's a couple dudes out there that are real sharp. He's real sharp. I like Nichols. There's not a whole lot of people out there I value their opinion. But
Nichols is good.
Yeah,
we were in a chat with him a while ago.
I like it.
Instagram chat. I kind of got out of it because I had so many chats. But
my Instagram's dead, by the way. I know you said earlier follow everybody's Instagram. My Instagram's dead.
Okay. Well, I found you on there.
Yeah, it's linked to a dead email, and I don't know the password, so I cannot get into it. And the email is dead, so my Instagram is non-functional. So anyway,
that's
right on.
Yeah.
All right. Another main event: Islam Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski. Brandon, I know you're super hyped for this one. Let's go. Tell us who you like.
So, I played the fight doesn't go to decision for 2.2 units at -162 on Bet Rivers. Like, we just saw Makhachev had a bad weight cut. Like, that didn't play into my bet here, but I'm very glad about that, obviously. Makhachev submitting Moises. He's submitting Oliveira. Like, these are 2 credential BJJ black belts, and, like, Makhachev could train as much as he wants for these takedowns. And we see Makhachev can just strangle Volkanovski after the first takedown on top mount and could submit him within the first 2 rounds. And we know if Islam's going to slow down and Makhachev's on the feet with him, if Volkanovski's on the feet with him, we know Volkanovski's going to throw more volume, obviously. He's bringing up this speed to 155. He's going to bring up this power as well. And I just really love violence in this spot. Like, I know people are playing the over 2.5, and I see Minty bets played it, and I'm not
does she know what 2.5 is though?
Anything.
Does she know what she bet though?
Violence, but Minty bets. I saw a lot of stuff with her earlier in the week, but I love violence here. I mean, Makhachev is out here. He's a complete dog, and Volkanovski's walking up weight. If Volkanovski's on the back foot here, I don't really see how he survives 5 rounds with Makhachev. So if Volkanovski doesn't finish him, I don't see how he pinpoints him the decision and even survives the grappling situations for 25 minutes. So give me violence at -162 for 2.2 units here.
I like it.
Play tonight on this card.
Okay. Dale, what do you like?
I mean, I'm for violence. My biggest play is Makhachev inside the distance. I also like Makhachev by submission. So by submission was plus 150, inside the distance minus 110. I'm 7 units deep collectively between the two. But I mean, well, as Cody's aware, and Johnny, you're aware as well, because we were on the same live stream with the Dober play. I'll put my money where my mouth is when it comes to this stuff. So that is my play this week. That being said, hard money versus smart money. Hard money is on Volkanovski. I have nothing against Islam. I have nothing against Khabib even. In fact, one of my shirts in my store is the Caucasus Mountain Warriors, right? The Caucasus Mountains run through Dagestan. I mean, I love that style of wrestling, and that style of fighting. My problem is with the fan base. They're incredibly toxic. And if you are an Islam or Khabib fan, feel free to insert, either left or right one of my nuts into your mouth at your leisure. So
it's been decent. Like there hasn't, like last time Islam fought, dude, it was like we had 170 people.
Yeah, right.
It was crazy.
Well, they were fighting a really huge guy named Oliveira. I don't know if you ever heard of this guy. He's really
Chucky Olives versus Benny Dariush.
That's going to be so fun.
That's a good fight.
I'm so scared. It's going to be.
I love them both. Yeah, but you should just love them both.
Max,
you should love them both.
Yeah,
that's heart and smart money there.
Right.
So you can get finished.
So here we have heart versus smart money. Now I think Islam's just too big for him. I think collectively speaking, analytic for analytic, Volkanovski is the better mixed martial artist. But at a certain point, especially when you have like the pound for pound conversations, right? All things considered, it takes 3 Demetrius Johnsons to beat a Francis Ngannou. Right. Like it just doesn't matter at a certain point. The size becomes too much. Mm-hmm. Islam's just going to be too big. He's going to be 175 plus pounds tomorrow or today, whenever he fights him. I mean, I know we weighed in. It
might be 180 right now.
He very well could be.
His weight cut was bad, man.
It was 100% bad, but it's always bad.
It's always bad.
It's always going to be bad.
It's always going to be bad. And much ado will be made. Volkanovski used to be 240 pounds and play rugby. It doesn't fucking matter. My only concern with my play is Islam gets some sort of weird side control position where he gets Alex's wrist controlled and he starts laying punches down that Alex can't get out of the way of, and we get one of those weird TKOs like we saw with BJ Penn, Matt Hughes, where like you're just not defending yourself. It's not that you're getting knocked out, you're just not defending yourself. That's my only concern. Outside of that, I think Islam by sub is where it's at. So that's why I kind of hedged with the inside the distance play. Volk would make me just the happiest guy on earth if he wins the fight.
Yes.
And the referee, whoever the referee is, would do themselves a disservice if they didn't watch the Ortega versus Volk fight and realize that no matter how precarious the situation is, Volk can fight out of it. You have to let him work. My concern is that he's going to get somebody that's not going to let him work. Hopefully they do, but it depends on who the main event ref is. Oftentimes we get the assignments early. I have not seen it. I don't know who the ref is. And because of that, I can't play Volk. If people play him, I get it, but this is a bad matchup. It's just stylistically speaking, this is a bad matchup for Volk. Chad Mendez gave him all he could handle from a wrestling standpoint. I realized that was years ago, but there's just something different. One of the things that when I talked to Drew about Islam whenever he fought him, he said it wasn't that he was bigger. It wasn't that he was stronger. It was that he was able to move his body and apply weight within his body in ways that he couldn't, he'd never felt before. So almost like Islam can put more weight in his shoulder. He can put more legs, or he can put more weight in his ass. He can put more weight in his torso if he needs to, in order to keep you in a position where if you're not trained that way, you can't apply the appropriate pressure to buck, to hook the get the underhook, to move the legs. You can't do that. And he said, like, that's the thing that was different. He's like, I trained for the wrestling. I trained for the jiu-jitsu. I didn't train for the way he he has control of his body. It's almost superhuman. And I trust Drew enough to know that he knows what the fuck he's talking about. So it doesn't matter that Craig Jones, that Volkanovski flew Craig Jones in. And if you don't know Craig Jones, look up the body of work. Came in and had Craig out there to train jiu-jitsu with him. Craig is not Islam. Craig is not Khabib. Craig is not a lifelong Dagestani wrestler, right? Wrestling is to Dagestan like soccer is to Brazil. You know, most average players are better than great players everywhere else. So I'm on Islam here. I'm on him heavy inside the distance, and I'm on him heavier. I'm on him heavy by submission and heavier inside the distance. But I hope Volk wins. That said, heart money's on Volk, but smart money's on Islam all day. So, sorry, that was long. I apologize.
That's all right.
No, yeah, man. I want Volkanovski to win too, but man, Islam's just huge, dude. His wrestling's pretty good. It's weird though, because like when he fought Charlie, which I don't know how good Oliveira's takedown defense is. I don't know. We don't really discuss it too much because nobody really tries to take Oliveira down too much. But like Makhachev took him down in the first round and controlled him and stuff. And then in the second round, he tried a couple takedowns, couldn't even get Oliveira down. At least one. Ended up dropping him standing up because Oliveira did that flying knee. But like if Oliveira, I don't know how good his takedown defense is, but if he was already able to start stopping a takedown from Makhachev in the second round, maybe Volkanovski can. And he's a wiry little fucker. So I feel like even if he gets taken down, he's going to move around, get up. Like, I don't know if he'll ever accept position, but it's also like Dale said, I don't know if he's going to have a choice, you know, because Islam is so heavy on top, just like a freaking blanket. But Volk's got phenomenal cardio, phenomenal everything. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to make it. Like, I'm taking Islam, and I love what Dale said. The best bet is instead of just taking like an under total, because I don't see Volk knocking out Islam or stopping Islam, to be honest. Like, even if he wins, it's going to be some greasy decision. So I like, you know, Volk inside the distance and more likely by sub. I don't see him knocking out or even ground and pounding out Volkanovski. Obviously, it'd probably be by sub. So that seems like the best bet. But man, I want to see Volkanovski win. But dude, just like Islam's probably going to be 190 in there tomorrow, and then he's just huge. And I mean, if he does get his wrestling going like he's supposed to, he's going to take him down. And by that third or fourth round, or whatever round it happens, when Volkanovski starts just having to accept that position, then it's going to get real close to being over after that, you know. So, damn, man. But I'm rooting. I didn't bet this fight at all, but I'm rooting for Volkanovski. But like you say, heart and smart, it's two different things. So give me Islam. It's weird to say it because you never even think you'd imagine seeing Volkanovski getting finished. I mean, I know we seen him like his regional like 10 years ago get finished, a long time ago, the one time. But so it's going to be weird to actually see him if he does get finished. But give me Islam, man, probably inside the distance by submission.
Yep. Yeah, this is heart and smart money for me again, Dale. And this is what I was going back and forth with. I really want Volk to win. Like, I'm just like, come on, Volk. But smart money is on Islam. And I pulled the trigger. I got the inside the distance. I did 1.5 units on it. I think it's going to happen eventually in the third or fourth round. It's just too big. He's too big. And once I think he gets a takedown or maybe two, and Volk's going to accept it eventually because he knows he can't get up. And I think the only way that Volk can get up is at the end of the round. I think he's not going to be able to get up. He might survive one round, maybe two, but maybe two takedowns or something like that. But that's about it. I think eventually it's just going to be either a ground and pound knockout or it's going to be a head and arm choke or something like that. So I think Volk just needs to keep it on the feet to have a chance to win this fight.
Yeah.
That's it.
One of the things that I want to bring to attention, and I'm sure Prop already or Brandon already saw this, is that just going off physiognomy alone, Volk and Dober are very similar, right? And they're smaller, thick guys, right? That are very muscular and have a little bit of power, and they make Islam work a little bit. Islam submitted Dober in round 3. Islam round 3 submission is plus 900.
Okay.
So I just
like
if you're talking about just a big ass pie in the sky plus number on this, I like a submission prop attached to a round. It just, to me, with correct unit play, it can prove profitable no matter what, as long as it hits, right? Like if it's +6 in round 2, +450 in round 1, +9 in round 3, as long as you play it correctly, unit wise, it doesn't matter what happens you're ending in green. But the moment it doesn't happen, you're fucked. So it's not a huge push. I'm just saying.
How much better, or what do we think the difference is between Volkanovski and Thiago Moises? Like, who's better, or how much better? Any of that? Do we think Volkanovski's a lot better than Moises?
Yeah, I mean, I would say a pretty decent amount,
right? And I mean,
even if Volk fought at lightweight, I think he would still beat him pretty easily, whether it's by decision or finish.
Yeah, he would beat up, I think, Thiago Moises.
Yeah.
Do you put anything? Oh, sorry, Cody. Do you put anything into the fact that Volkanovski weighed in under the limit as opposed to right at 155?
Did he? I haven't got to check any of this.
154 and a half.
Like half a pound, but not really.
Well, I mean, he had to make 155, so he probably just went a little under the 155. But what did Islam come in a heavy
155 on the dot? Had to use the
towel and everything.
Naked with his hands on the towel, 155. Yeah.
So man, dude, man, I hope Volk by that second round starts stuffing them takedowns, dude, and just starts giving
his only way
the work, dude. The business. I would love it. I just stayed away. I'm gonna watch it as a fan, man. Why not?
I love that.
I'd probably be still sweating from that Yair fight. I've been doing good. I'll be honest, dude. A lot of my betting strategy and stuff, like other than like even for main events, I pretty much stay away from them, man, because like you get usually in a main event, you got two good fighters, right? And like I said, in my fights, I like to pick one person that's going to dominate this other person in that area, whether it be they're going to have the good enough wrestling to keep it standing, dominate them in striking, or they're going to be able to out grapple them. But I want them to have a least dangerous opponent, all that. And usually that's not in the main event, but I don't know, man. This one's going to be fun just to watch as a fan. Yeah. Even if you don't have money on it, it's the pound for pound number 1 and number 2, man. And either way, man, it's a win-win, because if Islam wins, he says he's going to go up to 170. We'll get to see another crazy fight. If Volkanovski wins, that crazy fucker might go up to 170. Who knows? So
I'm just a big fan. It means nothing here, but on my show, hilarious. MMA Jesus 316 says, Inshallah, that Islam wins. And I just think it's so funny that MMA Jesus says Inshallah.
Yeah, MMA Jesus. That's blasphemy, Dev.
I'm gonna need you to calm down.
I didn't think about that. That's funny. That's good stuff.
I'm gonna need you to you gotta pick a side, bro. I'm gonna need you to pick a team, bro.
That is true. It is very true.
I love it. That's good stuff. All right, kids. We went for almost 3 hours, and that's amazing. I didn't think we would do that. So we had some good debate. We had some good discussions over a lot of fights, especially the Menifield Crute fight. We got a shoey bet going for Dale versus Cody. This is going to be an amazing card. I'm going to give everyone a little bit of time to plug their own channels. Brandon, please go first, and then I'll work my way around.
Yeah, guys, you guys can check me out at MMA_Propaholic on Twitter, where I post all my bets and all my breakdowns, and I post UFC breakdowns for all these upcoming cards. So I'm very psyched for this weekend. Let's get that money and let's enjoy this card, because next week is brutal. So thank you, everyone, who tuned in. So let's all make this money.
Yes, sir. Cody.
Yeah, man, I had a fun time. Great show. I'm a little tired now. I used to be getting up for work in a while, but yeah, man, it was a great show. Everybody check me out on my YouTube, Blood Money MMA Bets. I'm sure the link's in here, and my Instagram and Twitter. I post the bets throughout the week. You'll get them there early. If you want them super early, right when I place them, I have my Patreon now and Discord with that. So put all my early bets, all my best bets of the week and stuff, just there to help support the channel. My picks are still free on Twitter and stuff. It's just you get them way later in the week. So, but yeah, man, I had a great show. Can't wait to do another show with you guys sometime, and can't wait for this good show. But really, screw this pay-per-view. I'm not even excited about it. I get to take my daughter to a daddy-daughter dance tomorrow. She's 4. For her little preschool dance. So that's gonna be all. I'm taking her out to eat, getting dressed up.
There you go.
Picture out of dress and all that. So that's really what I'm looking forward to. So
yeah, there you go. You don't need UFC in real life.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's gonna be so fun. I'm literally hyped up. We went and got her a dress, and we're gonna take her out to eat and shoes, everything, dude. She's gonna love it. She got an invitation. Awesome. Could only take one person. Asked me. Her mom was mad. But it is what it is.
Dale, where can we find you at, sir?
Bro, I did the daddy-daughter dance last week, and it
did you?
Oh, bro, it was amazing. So real quick, sorry, Johnny.
You're fine.
So we went, and it's just daddy-daughter dance, right? It wasn't like the option to bring your mom, and they're like, all right, we're gonna do something fun. Like, because the teachers or whatever, the chaperones are like, we're gonna do musical chairs amongst all the dads, right? So now my one daughter, she's 3, she's getting ready to be 4 here in next month. Well, the chairs, how
mini chairs,
dude, they're the mini chairs, bro, right? Now I'm 6 foot, I'm 200 pounds, right? And the rest of these, I mean, we're grown ass men. And they got a ring of these little tiny chairs. So the winner gets $100 gift certificate to Dairy Queen ice cream. And I was
dude, it turned into Menifield versus Crute in there.
See how all you guys just reacted? That's how I reacted. I was like, you guys are all yucking it up. So I live in Charleston, right? It's a little highfalutin area. A lot of these dudes are softer than duck shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to fight you. Like, I don't know if you realize the conflict that you're in for here.
Right. I can't lose in front of my daughter. I got a lot of shit going on right here.
We about to fight, right? So anyway, we're going, and in the first 3 rounds, everybody's like, oh, sorry, I didn't get the seat. Oh, my bad.
Got to the alphas.
Dude, after about 4 rounds, bro, we're fighting for seats, dude. Everybody, the music stops, pushing motherfuckers, grabbing seats. Yep. So it got heated. Long story short, I got 3rd place. I'm not gonna lie, I got 3rd place. Now, what happened is they put the 2 seats back to back. And I got caught on the side whenever they stopped and everybody was ass to ass. I was just out of luck. So anyway, enjoy your daddy-daughter dance. It's amazing. It's just being a girl dad is what's up. So
yes.
Anyway, you can find me, guys, anywhere at Punchlist MMA. My Instagram is functionally dead. If you missed it in the earlier part of the show, the Instagram is connected to a dead email, and I don't have the login information. So I can't get into it. But at Twitter, at Punchlist MMA. Some of you old heads may recognize my voice, not necessarily what I look like, from Fistful of Cash, which was the first MMA podcast I ever did years ago. I'm one of the OGs as far as the MMA betting space goes, podcast-wise. My YouTube has been revamped because I got suspended from YouTube and reworked. I've been kicked off of every platform known to man.
I could never
love this guy.
Yeah,
this guy.
So love it. Community complaints for racism, bigotry, the whole nine. Man, I get them all, right? So I've been kicked off. I came back. Here's where I am now. So at Punchlist MMA everywhere. All right. You can find me there Tuesday nights. I do a live show at 9:30 Eastern time. I got our mutual friend Addicted to Combat, or Patrick, aka Addicted to Combat, coming up for UFC 285. I'm going on his show 286. He's coming on mine, and then I'll be hitting up each one of you guys so that way we can get another panel rotation going on for the upcoming pay-per-views.
100%.
So we'll make it work. So at Punchlist MMA everywhere. Feel free to follow, tag, leave those reviews anywhere you want to, and don't worry about reporting me because my shit gets suspended all the time. So that's why I'm here. So I appreciate you guys.
One more thing. Tomorrow night. Patrick, Addicted to Combat's channel. Me, Patrick, Mushroom Philly. I think so far that's who it is.
You guys are
that's
going to
be a good show. Yeah, it's just for the main card. I think we're going to hop on about 9:30 to 10. But come hang out, man. If you watching the show and just want to hang out, maybe get some live betting tips. Be on there. I'll be on my Discord and stuff too. But it's going to be a good time. So everybody check that out. Get Mushroom. I believe it's his first fight companion. I'm not sure, but it's going to be a good time, man.
Yeah, should be fun.
Dude,
he is right there.
How cool is it to see Mushroom come out? Right, it's almost like it's like the old school movies where like the ugly chick was found to be hot and then she comes out, right? Like Mushroom has been non-existent for eons, and all of a sudden he fucking comes out, and it's like, I'm gonna show my face, and then boom, he's everywhere, man.
That's good. That's what you got. You've been part of the community forever, man.
I love it.
Stuff.
I love it.
It's good stuff. But yeah, everyone's information is in the description below. So definitely check them out. Subscribe. Go on their Twitters and Instagram. You can find me at JohnnyKpicks anywhere Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. I don't do TikTok though. I'm not that guy.
No. You're a grown ass man, right? You
got a grown ass man. I'm 38 years old. I can't do TikTok.
You
see this? Look at this.
You see the
like
beard.
Some people.
I like UFC and shit, man. I like to watch UFC. You know what I mean?
Yep. All right. Had a blast. Crute versus Menifield. I'm ready for it. Like,
people's main event, bro.
That's my main event.
I'm not sweating it out, man.
Our main event.
I'm definitely gonna be sweating that one out, but just until Crute finishes. You know what I mean?
Unders.
Yeah. Good. Hey, let's go, Violence. Appreciate everybody hanging out for 3 hours, man. See you guys later. You guys have a good night.
Take care. Good luck on everyone's bets, and let's get some violence. How about that?
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Later, guys.
Later, boys. Great show.
God bless you.